And now, from the bowels of the internet, it's the Hate-Bit Podcast.
Hate-Bit Podcast Season 2, Episode 13! Welcome! I am Kaos. Joining me as always, the apocalyptic Alpha Omega Sin.
Remember, if you want to offend anybody in an online first-person shooter, always tell them, go back and play Call of Duty. Makes them fucking cry.
In light of his recent Twitter handle, the slutty Sainted Magnus.
And if you want to be sophisticated, say you'll go back and play Battlefield 3. There we go. Let's get going.
And the legend himself, the $300,000 man, Silent Rob.
Well, my face is numb and I'm high on Vicodins. It's pretty much a typical day for me.
God bless Obamacare. Welcome to
sir.
the show. We got a big day here. You know, we got a lot to talk about and not a lot of time to do it in. We got to talk about masonry. We're going to talk about bricks. And we're going to talk about some nukes. We're going to talk about Microsoft is actually like giving things, and it's not STDs, as we found out. All kinds of big things going on, so stay tuned, stay right here on the Hate-Bit Podcast. But you know, we get a lot of comments, a lot of questions in the Hate-Bit the mailbag there, and sometimes we find real good ones that really need to be a part of the show. So our discussion topic this week is IPs, intellectual properties, that is, this generation that we loved. And you know who's the guy that can really tell you? He knows the names, he knows the places, he knows the people, the guy that knows every single... See, no one knows who I'm going to throw it to right now. I love this shit. Alpha Omega Sin, you know more intellectual properties than God. So tell me, what are your favorites this generation?
There's, you know, oddly enough, even though we have dug such a deep, never-ending fucking grave for this current generation because of the fucking problems that it's manifested, there's actually been a lot of good games and good franchises that have popped up. So one that I'm going to pop off right now because I enjoyed living shit out of it, and that's because I had a dream team working on it, and that just so happened to be Shadows of the Damned, which was on PS3 and Xbox 360. I mean, you got the dude that did the music in Silent Hill. You have Suda51, who has one of the most deranged fucking minds. And you have the fucking father of Resident Evil. All fucking going and making a game together. That's fucking awesome. Controls like Resident Evil 4, has humor a la, like, let's see, I guess Evil Dead would probably be the closest thing that I could associate it with. And it's gory as shit. It's fucking awesome, makes me happy, and yeah, that's one of the first things that I figure I'd toss into the wagon of awesome IPs.
Nice. It's funny that Alpha asked me this question earlier, and the fact that I had a hard time even thinking of any should pretty much sum up this generation of games, I think. But I can think of a few. Like, one of my favorite games of this generation is definitely Nier. That game Nier was fucking amazing. Bayonetta is another one that's fucking totally awesome.
Yes.
Totally,
and we're going to get a
awesome.
Second Bayonetta, which is very
awesome. I'm sure Saint and Magnus has something to say about the second Bayonetta.
I was just waiting. I was fucking waiting.
He thinks it's a great idea. Didn't you know? Didn't you see the video?
Yep. He is excited for it.
Yeah, about as excited as getting teeth pulled.
That's all. I mean,
Rob?
another one I can think of is like Resistance, especially Resistance 3. So if I had to put up with the other two games in order to get that game, that was just fine with me.
You know, Resistance kind of reminds me of Killzone in that respect, that it started off kind of just like garbage and then got better as it went along.
Exactly. Totally agree.
So at least they learned from their mistakes. And two games which I put in the top of my comic book video games of all time, which most people probably already know what the fuck they are, but that's Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Arkham games.
Hell yeah.
Holy bejesus. There's, to begin with, if you're a Batman fan, this is like one of the most amazing games that you could ever play. And not saying something because Batman has a really good catalog of video games, but Arkham Asylum, I was like, they'll never be able to outdo themselves. And then comes along Arkham City and outshines even Arkham Asylum, and I was just like, holy hell, this is fucking amazing. The only thing that I will ever say bad about the game is the fact that it was Mark Hamill's last time being Joker, and that truly is a fucking crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's been wanting to end that character for many, many years, though. But no doubt, with Mark Hamill being the way he is, he'll come back as fucking Joker sometime in the future. Some IPs that I've liked this generation, well, immensely, is the Borderlands series of games. They have been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, you can play them with your friends, and it's just a big, massive loot fest. And the endings, yeah, they've never been that great, but the core of the game, where it's just a dungeon crawler with guns, it's fantastic. It's always going to be special to, one of those games that's been notable this generation. And another one, even though we've had a game release for it for the past 3 or 4 years now, that is Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed's been a really good franchise to have this generation. Any others?
Yeah, the third one, everybody's been fucking hopping on its dick like real hard since it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing through the Assassin's Creed 1 this past week or two, and I've actually had fun with that more than I've had with any other IP this year.
Yeah, there you go again with all your faggy action games.
Oh, shut up. All right.
You guys missed a big one. The one that's been sticking out. The Ace Attorney series.
Well, we're waiting for you. It was late out for you.
There's one reason why I did not mention Ace Attorney, and I only say this because it started out on the DS, which technically was around like the PS2 generation.
But technically it's no, you're wrong.
I'm just saying. That's the only reason why because legitimately I would say that and the fucking Trauma Center games, because those were the reasons why I thought a DS was like big shit to have. Because I was
but
like,
the DS was treated as a counterpart to the Wii being part of the most previous generation, so I think that counts. See, handhelds, now we're going to have a separate discussion, get way the fuck off topic, but handhelds are kind of hard to tie down. So I will agree with you sort of, but that's why I'm saying it's kind of there was some N64 mud and fog and I couldn't see very well. So it was kind of a blurry thing.
Understandable.
I thought it was the Reggie Fils-Aimé Wii Fit board glasses that
well, there was that too. Did you hear he was on Jimmy Fallon and his body was ready?
And nobody else's body was ready to see
I want to know, was Jimmy's body ready?
I don't think the studio was fucking ready for Reggie.
Dude, there's this funny ass meme picture of him, and it just like shows him like behind something, and he has like this glazed over fucking like pedo stare, and it like keeps just zooming in closer and closer, and he's like at the very end, he's like, my body's ready, and I fucking died seeing that shit. It's horrifying and funny at the same time. It's just a weird combination to be scared.
Actually,
and
I think
laugh.
it looks more like he's going to eat you.
For him, that could be like. That could be sexual for him.
Reggie is going to make you his bitch. Suck it down.
Yeah. What happened? He got Fisa made.
He got Fisa made.
The puns. The right stuff.
Can we stop singing that and keep getting on to current generation games, please?
Okay, here I'll toss.
The New Kids on the Block was the best new generation game. Wait,
I'll toss out another one. Darksiders 1 and 2. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, good one.
Darksiders is just sexually appealing on a number of different levels, but I don't want to actually like detract too far from fucking what Yellow Chaos was talking about, because the Ace Attorney series is actually like, as much as I've absolutely skull fucked Capcom into oblivion to no return, one thing that they've done right is the Ace Attorney series. I will give them that.
Do you know how it hurts me to defend Capcom?
What's up?
Do you know how it hurts me to praise their work?
Dude, physical pain, actual physical pain.
It does. My left ball is just awful right now because I'm praising the work of Capcom.
Oh,
It's just
no.
like it's shaking its fist at you and everything.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, it's just like got a like an ouch. Like, hopefully they'll send me a leather jacket to make up for it.
The Souls games, the Demon Souls and Dark Souls, they were really good.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we were talking about that before the podcast.
Oh,
That's a good
they're
one.
fucking brutally hard, but they're not hard for the hard's sake. They're just hard in general. They were.
Hard in general.
God damn it! How come everything turns into a sexual innuendo with you guys? Honestly.
Hey, wait, no, that's Dave. Well, that was your dirty mind.
Yeah. See, I just laughed and said hard in general. What if I just found your delivery funny?
Yeah, those were your filthy lying ears.
Yeah,
You're saying
are
saying the word hard, you should pretty much just expect it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the topic in hand. We're
Hard.
on about
in hand.
games that we like from this generation, IPs. So, is there any IPs that you guys actually would drop everything to play?
I'm hard when I pee.
Let's
I'm
see.
sorry.
You had to.
Trying to have
Okay,
topical discussion and it's
one game that I would drop everything to play because I actually did drop everything to play it, and I did nothing but play this game every single minute that I could, and that was Lost Odyssey on a 360.
See, I need to play that, man. Everybody keeps telling me how good that is.
Dude, it's like it's amazing because Final Fantasy has gotten so much shit, and legitimately, if they would have came right out the gates and called this Final Fantasy 13, it would be in everybody's good graces again. And it also would have sold a lot better, but because it came out as Lost Odyssey, with a new fucking name and everything, it wasn't going to be able to make the same leaps and bounds that it should have. And I don't know, man. It's just an amazing fucking game. It kind of makes me sad that it's only on 360 because if this shit was able to go multi-plat, it would have done a lot better. And I'm talking like even on PC, on fucking handhelds, anything. Because if you're an RPG fan, you're doing yourself a fucking disservice by not playing it.
Oh,
So.
dude, I heard the ending was like sad as fuck too. So
Honestly, it's not even just the ending. There's a lot of things that you find throughout the game that just like. Considering the character, I don't want to give away too much, but like, there's just certain things, considering that these characters have lived for such a long time. It's really sad to like read some of the stuff. You actually like have somewhat of an emotional attachment to the characters, and you feel for them in certain situations. Because it's like, imagine if you lived through that and you dealt with that. And that's one of the reasons why I always liked RPGs was for stuff like that, and that's it's a rarity, and it's just nice to see that it came along and it rocked.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I look for in games is really good endings. Like, that's pretty much the problem I had with Rage pissing me off with its fucking ending. I did just recently beat Red Dead Redemption for the first time, and its ending totally melted my fucking face off. So I was like, yeah, that's totally. I mean, I could say Red Dead Redemption as an IP. I mean, fuck Red Dead Revolver. We're not even going to count that game, man. Red Dead Redemption.
Well, the Red Dead games, the Red Dead games were really good anyway. I like the first one anyway. So the
first one has a
charm, I'd say.
As a charm, I guess you could say, but
you're always like,
game.
oh, you remember that guy from the first game, and you're like, hang on a minute, he's not. He looks similar, but he isn't.
Yeah, well, when you played Red Dead Revolver, you're just wishing it was Red Dead Redemption, in your mind. So
here's one thing, because I wasn't even really thinking about this at first, and I was just like, damn. I had said in one podcast that, like, out of all the main Mario games, Mario Sunshine really wasn't all that high on my list, so I actually found it kind of disappointing.
I did too.
Well, they followed up this gen with the Mario Galaxy games, which are some of my favorite of the entire Mario series. They're really fucking awesome games. There's they didn't go and basically litter it with a bunch of gimmicky waggle controls or anything like that. It's a straight up fucking Mario game.
Exactly, and it doesn't depend entirely on nostalgia for it to be a good game too.
Oh yeah.
So
it's clever. That's the one thing that I like about it. And graphically, it's one of the nicest looking games that came out this generation. And even if somebody's like, oh, the Wii's underpowered, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, no fucking shit. This isn't a fucking news report anymore. But if you look at Mario Galaxy, it easily could have cropped up on the PS3 or on the Xbox 360 or even on PC. It's a very, very nice looking game. You know,
I totally agree, dude. Has anybody mentioned Uncharted yet?
Not yet. I was
No.
going to get to that, but thanks.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
There you go.
all of them are good too. That's the thing. Like I played 1, 2, and 3. I haven't played the one on Vita except for like the demo, but they're all really good games. And fuck, man, they take voice acting and like storytelling, at least like in action games, like to another level. They did a really good job because it's like watching a fucking like an actual movie in a theater.
Yeah,
Sure.
Nolan North did some of his best voice work on that.
But it's funny that
absolutely.
you hear his fucking ass in like everything now.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he's even in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
You know, he's Desmond, poor bastard.
Yeah.
Why did he have to do Desmond's voice?
Yeah, and that's kind of unfortunate, but at least, you know, he gets to be fucking Mr. Drake and kick tons of ass and everything, and be overly charming and everything, wetting the panties of fucking fangirls everywhere.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
don't forget what was his name? Fucking Sullivan. He's a fantastic character.
Oh, dude, he's fucking awesome. Because I remember even like when I was first playing through, I was just like, this motherfucker is gonna like turn on me. He's gonna turn on me, right? When's he turning on me? Why? All right, fine, you're awesome. You know,
Dude,
that's what I was expecting.
Dude, I totally thought that too. That's hilarious.
I thought, no, he died.
It's a well-crafted game, but you know what? For anybody that grew up like playing the Tomb Raider games and then go to play Uncharted, it's really nice to see like that style of like an Indiana Jones style adventure go and live on instead of just be forgotten and everything. And they didn't have to fucking throw like T-Rexes and big old fucking flopping fun bags everywhere to be able to grab your attention and shit. They just did it with a fun
Yeah, I
game.
kind of said that was the only thing missing from Uncharted was some flopping fun bags, but I guess that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's just your sixth sense of humor, so we'll just leave it to that.
I don't know. Sooner or later, I think that they should have some. Well, actually, if they do anything with the new Tomb Raider game coming out, I think that there's one piece of DLC I'd be okay with them making, and that's if they had like the Tomb Raider 1 like really poor CG model of her running around, and it would look so fucking out of place and retarded. I would play
I
as
would
that.
love that. I would love that, dude.
Yeah.
And dude, on PS1, I still remember to this day, like when I first played it, her fucking her tits were just straight fucking triangles. Like they weren't even round. It was just like pyramids strapped to this fucking hoe's chest, and she's just going on an adventure. I was like, what the fuck's happening here? The boobs are round. I'm a little kid. I know that. They're not triangles.
Well, you could have been playing like the Madonna edition or something.
Well, that'd be cone shaped. That still needs some rounding to it.
That'd
Well, but
too
be
gross.
pointy, close enough.
Yeah.
Titties should not be dangerous.
I beg to differ. I think they're even more fun when they're dangerous.
Well, especially the ones that have like the fucking the barrels that come out and they start shooting. Those are awesome.
Those are my favorite. I like those.
Yeah. So, if we had new IPs for next generation, or indeed they decided to reboot some of the IPs from this generation, next generation, what do you think would be reboot worthy? That's an interesting question.
I'll go with Metroid Other M.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do a do-over on that one.
Yeah, because honestly, it should have been amazing.
It should have
that's
been.
the thing.
Dude, totally agree, man.
Like it made when they announced it, I shit bricks. Like there was so many bricks just of caked shit all throughout my house, and everybody hated me. But I was just like, this is amazing, and we got fucking Team Ninja taking on a fucking adventure with Samus, and I just imagine like that psychotic gameplay coupled with like really awesome sci-fi settings and Samus just owning fucking face, being the bounty hunter of the fucking future and just being awesome. And yeah, so what we got instead was a frail little fucking bitch taking orders from a bunch of fucking hacks who had no business being there, gameplay that was fucking horrible. The only thing good about the game somewhat was the fucking graphics, and that's it. That was
It's like,
it.
yeah, you can use this gun now. Why? Because I said so. It's like, what the fuck?
The game was
Why couldn't I use
balls,
it
man.
earlier? It sucked balls big time.
If I had to choose a reboot, and it's another Wii title, or titles, and that's the No More Heroes series, because that is just such a good fucking series. I'd love to see that in HD, and I'm not talking the remake that they did for the PS3. I'm talking a whole new adventure in HD. Well,
I hope they make another Vanquish.
Yeah,
I like Vanquish a lot.
Vanquish is. I feel bad for that game because it took like a Gears of War style approach and did it much better.
It did. It totally did.
And nobody gave a fuck about the game, and it still fucking blows my mind. People like talk a bunch of shit on Sega, and Sega actually like published this game. No one gave a fuck. All because they're like, yo, I'm just gonna stick with all the franchises that I know and all those really good games. Yeah, I'm not that interested because I'm too busy, balls deep in this one right here. That's honestly kind of shitty.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Chaos,
Mr.
keeping
Chaos.
quiet.
Well,
Yeah, well-
I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, what's one that really would work out next generation? You guys are gonna laugh at me. It is another Wii title, Sega's Mad World.
That's a good
That's
one.
actually
Yeah.
good. No, we won't.
Yeah, that's a
You've been
good one.
spared ridicule.
Well,
That game-
I mean,
My
I don't
only
know how
problem
that
with
would
that
work.
game is that game was way too fucking short. That was like the only
Yeah.
problem I had.
It
with
is
that
a
game.
short game, but I mean, there's not really that far you can go with it.
True.
So I think that would probably be like the first AAA budget title, if you get what I mean. It's just a huge. It should be given a lot of due with when they make another one. They should write that down right now. They should make a Mad World 2.
Yes.
And I hope they spend a lot of time on it, and I hope it's fucking cheap.
I just
Yeah.
loved all the mindless violence with it and the fact that you could...
It is. It's horrible, and God bless it.
God bless mindless violence.
God bless.
Dude,
mindless
it's
violence.
one of those games like it really did deserve a little more credit, but I'll go and toss this one onto the fucking burner just because I was sitting there thinking about it and I was like, yeah, I want to see it live on, but I would love to see like a big studio fucking tackle it and give it its just dues, and that's Deadly Premonition. It's just one of those games. I like it so much, but it needs a bigger following because it's just a weird fucking game, man. It really is.
Jim Sterling gave it a 10 out of 10. It must be good.
You mean it must be tasty?
The thing is, like, it's a broken ass game, but it's one of those games you don't give a fuck how messed up it is. It's like some worn ass fucking boots that you put on. You know how fucked up they are, but you like them anyway because they're awesome. They're beat up as shit, but they're comfy. That's totally
it's the equivalent of like playing Nine from Outer Space. It's terrible, but it's fucking enjoyable as hell, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just. You know what? Fuck it. Another one, Stranglehold. God damn it! Nobody loves that game, and I don't understand. Like it doesn't fucking. The game actually had a sequel game prepared for it. The Midway bit the dust, but it was just a fun fucking game, and I don't get why everybody hated on it because it controlled pretty well. The story was fucking awesome, especially if you were a fan of Hard Boiled like me. It just, I don't know. I definitely
dude, the
want to see
PS3
that.
version like came with that movie for free and shit.
Yeah, you got the movie for free for the fucking collector's edition. That was the thing. Like, I had gotten the game on 360, and I was like, that's really awesome. And I saw it for only a couple bucks, and it was the collector's edition with Hard Boiled on it. I don't even own Hard Boiled. I used to have it a long time ago before I sold my DVD collection, and I was just like, holy shit! Well, now I have the movie again by proxy of having the collector's edition of that. So, yay!
Which brings us into the discussion of what the fuck happened to John Woo, but we won't get into that.
old age happened to John Woo.
Indeed.
That motherfucker got just a little ahead of himself, and it definitely shows. It's kind of sad though, because if you look at his like 80s and 90s work, god damn, he did no wrong.
He peaked so fucking early that he had nowhere to go but down.
Yeah, and that's kind of sad though, because that dude is a fucking monster when making movies and just shooting scenes. It's like, what do we do? Call John Woo, and he like hovers in on like a bunch of big titty bitches, and he just like, hello there. I heard you need a shooting scene. It needs to be amazing. Well, I'm your man.
I got you, man.
I always assume that John Woo travels by way of Segway. but like he doesn't actually like handle it. He just has his arms crossed and it moves on his own.
I would like to see
John Woo do a Segway shootout scene.
That's money right there, boy.
Hell
There's
yeah.
money.
Interesting.
Like the Segway's going, like the person's on a Segway, like with a fucking Uzi out, and it's doing 360s in the air, and it's just like and pigeons just fly. Or I'm sorry,
They got to
doves.
figure out how to make the
Doves
Segways
fly.
like manly and shit.
Oh God.
Well, I don't
yeah.
know if you watched Mall Cop. I think you can't get more manly than that.
Oh man.
Well, I didn't mean manly as in terms of density,
Oh no.
but okay, that
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 works
was
out for
that
you.
was just a mild stab in the dark. Well,
Oh well, and we appreciate you and your stabs in the dark, Sainted Magnus. That was a good talk. Good talk about
Yeah.
intellectual properties over this generation that we enjoyed very much.
yeah. I just
And
before we move on, just
oh,
one quick
what's that,
one,
Sainted
one quick
Magnus?
one.
Mhm.
The Ghostbusters game, Ghostbusters the video game on PS2, PS3, PS2, Wii, fucking Xbox, practically every fucking
It was everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm convinced that game's probably going to be better than the new movie.
It will be.
It totally will.
Uh,
Without Bill Murray, that movie's doomed.
Yeah,
are they
yeah,
still pushing forward with it?
yeah.
Yeah. They're fucking mental,
I
man.
heard
Without,
otherwise, but okay.
put it this way,
They're gonna put Shia
Ghostbusters without
LaBeouf in it. I just felt it. They're gonna put Shia LaBeouf, and then I'm
No.
gonna have to blow up Dan Aykroyd's house.
If they put
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf in that fucking game, I will fucking hunt them down and I'll
Well,
kill.
because he's the guy they call when they want a franchise ruined.
Exactly, dude. I fucking hate him.
He ruined Indiana Jones for me, so
Yeah, if anybody's getting a jackknife power bomb, it's fucking Shia LaBeouf.
no, he's getting the table. Fuck it.
He's getting no, he doesn't get a table. A table breaks your fall. He's getting the Matt Hardy treatment.
Chaos, get the table.
getting an instant concussion and
An
auto
instant
vomit
concussion and
syndrome.
vomiting on young children. Yes.
I think we should just vomit on him and be done with it.
But yes, yeah, and I hope to see. That would be nice to see another Ghostbusters game, provided that Atari can, skip past bankruptcy court once more. Anyway, you know what it's time for? It's time for the Hate-Bit Cunt Bag, and this week's Hate-Bit Cunt Bag is brought to you by Pussyfoot Strip Club, the preferred strip club of the Hate-Bit podcast, home of the Silent Rob 300K special. And so please drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know how you feel. Let us know you're out there, and say whatever you want. A question, comment, concern, anything like that. Hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. Excuse me.
Not
Also,
com.
don't forget to check us out at facebook.com/hatebitpodcast, and don't forget to check out Sainted Magnus on the Twitter at Herpes Crabs
Oh,
Magnus something.
fuck off, you son of a.
So check him out over there, and
He's actually
we
been
thank you for your support.
just before I'm gonna
Oh yeah.
spoil his
Plug
day.
your shit right now. Plug your shit.
Shameless plug.
plug.
No, I'm on the Twitter. I've started tweeting a little bit more than what most people thought I should be doing. So you can find me at Sainted with a D at Sainted Magnus. Yeah, fuck it. It'll be posted on my channel page. Check. It
Yeah,
out.
well, they'll be on the channel page. You know what? Go ahead and you'll also find it in the description box, the drop down description box down below, where you find all the fancy links.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. And I'm glad to know that you tweet.
I tweet like a
I don't know
bird.
why I'm glad to know that, but anyway.
Well, maybe
Anyway,
you should start tweeting.
I'm a grown man. I don't tweet.
Well, you get bored on. You're going to be bored on the bus with your car trouble at the moment. So you might
I
as well
know,
do
it's
something.
terrible. They don't tell the people, then they'll find out that we're poor.
Well, you are, will you not?
Well,
You are now after what you've bought.
you try living in California, asshole. It's like I talked about earlier. It's like, man, I can't even file a tax return around here and shit.
Well, I
Anyway.
went to Florida once, and I thought I was the most civilized person there. So
Okay, that's not even remotely the same thing.
it is.
No.
Okay, California is kind of like living on a frying pan. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's not so hot, and generally it's, it was cool once. Florida is more like living in a jock strap that happens to be at the bottom of a deserted pool.
It's the waiting room. It's the waiting room for the afterlife, pretty much.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I just found out. Apparently, I don't have to spend any money to get merchandise for people in Florida. They've already made their decision, and we thank them for that. Anyway, in the Hate-Bit Cunt Bag, we've got some mail, but this time we're gonna pull a piece of mail out of our YouTube inbox, and this one comes from YouTube user Mike Vane1, and Mike says, "Here's a question for you guys. Not sure if you've done this before, but if not, now mind you, I'm pretty sure we have answered this question before, but I think we should talk about it for just a minute to familiarize all the new subscribers right here on the Hate-Bit podcast who haven't taken time to go back and listen to season 1 because it's, like 39,000 hours long. So, for those people, Mike Vane wants to know Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis?
Man.
You
I'm gonna have to go with
Super
Super.
Nintendo.
I'm gonna have to go with Super Nintendo, but like just by a hair. I mean,
By a hair?
by a hair, man. Well, I mean, we're talking. I mean, Super Nintendo had the RPGs. Super Nintendo had the big N franchises and stuff. But Sega Genesis, man, Sega Genesis has blast processing. So what can you say to that? You know what I mean? It's bringing the blast. It's bringing the blast. But I mean, seriously, Sega Genesis has the best shooters. The games just seemed to run better on the Sega Genesis. You had the best version of Mortal Kombat 2 on it. You know, like nobody wanted to fucking play Mortal Kombat on the fucking Super Nintendo when it first came out, especially the first one. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, Mortal Kombat without blood. Like, what the fuck? That's like a porno without the tits. Like, you know, what the
No,
fuck?
that's called gay porn.
Exactly. Why would you want to watch that? You know,
I
so
understand there are people.
I guess, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd have to go Super Nintendo, mainly for Chrono Trigger. That's
Excellent
basically,
choice. Excellent
yeah.
choice. Saint Magnus, we know you go for the Sega Genesis, but why? State your case for why the Sega Genesis is just the one for you.
They had some fantastic platformers on there. You know,
They
action
did.
platformers, for example.
They did.
You know, like Prince of Persia, Flashback, Another World. You know, it had Sonic games as well. I love me Sonic games. So Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles. Pinball games. What was that one that they had on the Mega Drive that Alpha
Oh,
used?
Devil's Crush.
That's the one.
Yeah.
We had Sonic Spinball, which is, yeah, it's another pinball game with a Sonic license, but they did well with the Sonic license, and it was actually quite fun.
It was.
Obviously, then there's the onslaught of stupid fucking mascots. One of them being Bubsy the Bobcat. Vectormony was another mascot that Sega could have done a hell of a lot with, but they never did. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, the Sega Mega Drive was what I grew up with, and I'm just going to stick with what I know. So the Super Nintendo I have played over the years, and I do enjoy it, but Sega Mega
Oh
Drive,
yeah. I mean, the Super Nintendo could not do like a side-scrolling shooter to save its life. I mean, look at Gradius 3. As much as I love that game, you're basically playing the whole damn thing in slow motion.
Wait.
So-
Hold on. I would like to call back the Plan 9 from Outer Space reference.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what makes that game so great.
I agree, dude. I agree. Like Gradius
Like
3
the
is
slowdown actually helps you. The
It
slowdown
does.
shows I mean,
and it's
yeah.
better than the arcade version of Gradius 3. The arcade version.
I mean, if
of
you're
Gradius-
looking for a steady frame rate, jump off, go take a walk, man. However, it did have its own charm to it.
But
Yeah.
that's the thing, you know, the Sega Mega Drive was spoiled for fucking shooters. They
it
had,
was.
They had Hellfire, they had Musha, they had Xenon 2, which was an Amiga port, which I've just recently discovered. They also had the beat 'em ups, you know, the fucking side-scrolling beat 'em ups. Yeah, you had Final Fight on the Super Nintendo, and you got two characters, and it was half the game. At least with Streets of Rage, you got fucking full beat 'em up. You had Golden Axe, which was a good franchise, but then it just kind of went skew-if after the second game. So,
It had the better version of Earthworm Jim too.
oh yeah, it did. I've got both Earthworm Jims on Mega Drive,
Right.
and it's fantastic.
It's got a
Alright.
better version of the Beavis and Butthead game.
Oh damn right, dude. That was so weird to me how like those were different games. Like when I was a
Very
kid.
different.
Very different.
Don't forget the Ren and Stimpy games.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
It had a good supply of Nickelodeon games, I must admit, and the licensed games on this.
Very much so.
The
Well,
licensed
people
games were
bitch about
fantastic.
the sound chip in the Sega Genesis, but I actually quite like it. I like the deep bass sound to it, and
It's so weird. It's one of those things. It's kind of like a grassroots effort. Like they had no idea what they were doing, but they did it anyway, and it was awesome.
totally, and totally.
Oh, it's all correct.
Just
there.
one of those things, you know.
And he had the superior versions of Street Fighter on there as well.
Oh,
On
yeah.
the Sega Genesis,
Yeah. Well,
I disagree.
do you want to know why?
Well,
The gamepad.
yeah.
The gamepad
That's
was
what
a
I mean.
hell of a lot better in some. You know, if you had the 6-button, it's the hell of a lot better than playing.
True, but that don't forget that came after the Super Nintendo had been released here in the States.
True.
Well, it came roughly around the same
And
time.
for us, at least all the kids in my neighborhood, by the time that fucking controller came out, we had already figured out the shoulder button, special attacks. We'd already figured it out. This only confused things. It might have been different in Britain, but from a North American state of mind,
Yeah, but don't forget, this is the differences between our regions, is the fact that Sega was dominant over here, over Nintendo. Yeah, my first experience of Street Fighter was on.
well, ever since World War II, no one's ever really forgiven Japan.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, plus like Nintendo stuff was more expensive over there, wasn't it? I know the NES was expensive as fuck over there in the UK, wasn't it?
It was for a time, yeah.
Yeah.
Best person to ask about that would be Larry Bundy, because he'll know a lot more about it than I would.
Well, he's the one that told me so.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, also, you look at Super Nintendo peripherals and game packs and so on. Almost everything is made in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at the back of Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, they're made everywhere.
I think I've got games made in Malaysia.
They're made in Hong Kong, made in Malaysia, made in the States, made in Canada, made in Mexico. Who would entrust the Mexicans to make anything?
I don't know.
It was like the 3DO of 16-bit consoles.
The Mexicans make Fords and Chevys. Haven't you learned your lesson yet?
Yeah, but they were still making games on the Mega Drive up until at least in the UK, until
as far as I know,
'97.
in South America, the Mega Drive is still supported.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say
That should fucking say something right there. God damn it!
Yeah,
that
look
they're
at Russia.
Very poor in Brazil.
Look at Russia; they're still getting Mega Drive games.
Yeah, but most of it involve polygonal tits.
Yeah.
Well, and let's be honest here too. The Sega Genesis is a lot better to collect for because it's a lot easier to fucking find complete actual copies of games too.
I'm convinced that's what severely hurt Sega, was giving you that case. That must have cost a fortune.
You would think so. I mean, the Nintendo definitely went the cheap route with that shit.
Well, that's how they managed to keep things, of a reasonable cost. If you look at analysis like that, and quit badmouthing the 3DO. I just caught. Wait, just on the 3DO. Knock that shit off.
Dude, I don't mind the 3DO at all, actually. The 3DO and the Sega CD are misunderstood.
Oh, absolutely.
Very misunderstood.
They're a great system. We can talk about that some other time. Alpha Omega Sin, the Sega Genesis or the Super Nintendo?
SNES. I don't even have to think about it. It's not knocking the Genesis because Sega was doing what Nintendo didn't
Genesis
at the time.
does what Nintendo don't. Sorry, I had to put that in there.
Legitimately, man. I love both systems to death, and I have a ton of great memories with them growing up because I was fortunate enough to have both. Brother had Genesis, I had Super Nintendo. But, in the long run, Super Nintendo just had the better catalog, at least for me. Silent Rob actually had started hitting on the head because he had mentioned RPGs. Well, Super Nintendo had that shit in spades. You have Secret of Mana, you have Final Fantasy 2, you have Final Fantasy 3, you have Chrono Trigger, you have Earthbound, you have Breath of Fire 2. It's you really can't fuck with a library like that when it comes storming in. It's like, oh well, I'll just spread my cheeks apart and kind of accept my defeat right now. Bite the pillow and go with it. But that's not even concerning the fact that Super Nintendo had shit like Super Mario RPG, which I forgot about for some reason when I was mentioning RPGs, which is criminal. But they had Super Mario All-Stars, they had Star Fox, they had Super Metroid. They had the better version of Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which is one of my favorite 16-bit games of all time.
Yeah.
They had Mario Kart. It was amazing. Like their first party, they also had all the Capcom games, like the Mega Man X games. Capcom really didn't show Sega any love, unfortunately, on the 16-bit side of things, which is unfortunate. But they did for Nintendo because they had all that. They had Street Fighter. They had Sega had it too, but I'm trying to think of what else. Final Fight. But yeah,
if the Super Nintendo only had 2 games, Rise of the Robots and Chrono Trigger, it would still win because it has fucking Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger is just one of those games. It's just like, nowadays Chrono Trigger is on everything. Chrono Trigger is on calculators. Yes. I'm pretty sure that those LCD fucking the refrigerators that they have with like the LCD touchscreens on them, I'm pretty sure Chrono Trigger's on that. So if you need to go and get yourself some shaved ice and play some Chrono Trigger, you can do that too. So
you might be onto something there, man. That's fucking a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
And honestly, all I would be doing is fucking helping the obesity rate in the United States grow exponentially. It's just like, all right, gotta level up and I have to go and get more basted ham. So these things happen, because of mad scientists like myself having a terrible idea that they cash in on and then become drug addicts and then die at a young age.
Yeah. Well,
Good.
well, since you're on the topic of RPGs, Sega had Fantasy Star, the Fantasy Star games. They had Sword of Vermilion, which was another decent RPG. So.
They
Please
had,
don't
uh,
say,
shi-
please
they had
don't
the
say
shiny-
Landstalker. Every
No,
Sega
no,
fan wants
no,
to throw
no,
out
no, no,
Landstalker.
no. That's not even a game. Sorry, it's just not.
It's not a good game. It's not.
It's just
I
not a
don't like
game.
it.
It's just not a game. It's just pain. You'd have to take a lot of fucking Vicodin just to play that.
Dude, isometric games like that fucking give me a headache, dude. Like
Isometric games are a headache.
That's
It
funny,
is.
Rob. I always assume you just wake up with a headache. That's why you look that way.
You hit the nail on the head right there.
You just
dude.
look like everyone's pissing you off all the time. It's like, you know what, dude? I'm gonna kill your children.
Oh, dude, I'm pissed as fuck right now.
And he's on Vicodin.
And I'm on Vicodin,
Yeah.
so fuck. I guess we should like say why I'm on Vicodin and my face is numb because we never really stated that. Everybody's like,
Thanks to Obamacare, you got your face ripped off. I understand.
yeah, I had a face transplant.
Face transplant? Are you Nicolas Cage?
I am now. I am
No, he's
now.
John Travolta. He's John
Quit
Travolta.
seeing those shitty Ghost Rider movies.
No, I had 2 fillings, so if anybody, I'm guessing that's gonna be
Oh.
like half the comments. It's like, why is your face numb? I got into a.
Can I
street-
have some Vicodin?
Can I have some? I only got 16 bitches.
Oh shit! Well, hold
And
on.
he's sold 14 of them.
Yeah, I've already taken like 15 of them. So
I know, man. It's over. I didn't get to make my case for the Super Nintendo Sega Genesis thing, because the score was 2-1, Sainted Magnus losing. And Sainted Magnus, I want to come and save you, but I can't. I'm voting for the TurboGrafx 16. However,
Hang on,
no
hang
one-
on, hang on. He said
no one
between
asked.
Sega and
I
Super
know,
Nintendo.
I'm not getting there, goddammit. No one asked. So I'm going to have to make my case for the Super Nintendo, and I'll do it real quick like this. Star Fox F-Zero, Legend of the Mystical Ninja. We can move on now.
Oh.
cool.
See?
Yeah.
And anybody badmouths Legend of the Mystical Ninja, I will slap you in the mouth with my penis.
I'd rather play Ninja Gaiden.
Oh.
Well, there's that too. Anyway, we got another piece of mail coming to us. Oh, on Facebook, and it's from Facebook user Gary Noland. Sorry, Gary, I didn't mean to use your whole name, but please send hate mail to Gary Noland. He asks, what are guys' favorite TV shows at this point in time? I think he means shows that are in their first run and are on the air today.
I'm
I don't
expecting
really-
somebody to say The Walking Dead.
I refuse to say that because it's too obvious.
I don't watch TV, so I don't really know what's on.
That's where I'm at, dude. I do not watch TV.
From what I can tell, the History Channel, who I thought was once the Hitler Network, are now apparently a Pawn Stars marathon. I know that because so Pawn
Shit.
Stars I'm familiar with.
Dude, Pawn Stars is so fucking set up and bullshit though. Like that
Well,
whole
they
show.
all are. You're leaving out the television part.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, you think that Cops was, 100%.
That's 100% real, man. What are you talking about? I was on that show.
Especially, the revelation when they had to tell the guy that the hooker he got caught with was a man.
Oh shit. But no, I
Anyway.
mean Pawn Stars though, for real, like people think they can just like walk into that place and do that shit like it is on TV when in reality there's a line around the fucking block 3 times around to
Mhm.
even get into that fucking place. So it's like not how it
Yeah.
works on TV, people.
Oh, we passed by. It's right across the street from the Stratosphere, where we stay in Las Vegas when we stay for the Classic Gaming Expo.
You've only
And
been once.
huh?
You've only been once.
Well, but we stay there all the time. And it was amazing to me, like, we'll talk about Pawn Stars for just a minute. The line wrapped around the building, 109 degrees outside, and people are, like, holding cuckoo clocks and shit.
Oh, dude, what they actually do, they actually go up to people, and if you have something interesting, even if you're not going to sell it or not, because they know beforehand if you want to sell it or not, they'll have people come in like that. They'll
I kind of just get, like, I think they just, like, talk to people in bars, like, hey, you're a really shitty liar. You want to be on a TV show?
Yes, totally.
Anyway, Rob, do you watch TV?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Becca,
Okay then.
did you like Gilligan's Island?
That was about the last good show that was ever
All
on
right,
TV.
there you go. Gilligan's Island. St. Magnus, what's on TV in Britain? Do you
Well,
coupling?
you what?
Do you watch coupling?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I have a life.
Doctor Who's still on though, right? You guys got that?
Yeah, we still got Doctor Who. They just released the trailer for the Christmas special. The Doctor is retired.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, it was a sad ending of the last series, so there's no Amy Pond anymore. She's disappeared, and so is Rory, and was like no, and everybody was crying, but I wasn't because I knew it was coming. For me, Top Gear all the way. I love watching UK Top Gear, not the.
I was about ready to say, did you ever see the US Top Gear?
Yeah, I was just about to get to that. The US one, fuck off.
Fuck, dude, that'll turn you off Top Gear real fast.
No, that just turned me off American television altogether. To be quite frank. What kind of name is Tanner Faust?
Oh God, dude, I know.
Sounds like a fucking
Wait.
missile launcher.
Say that again.
Tanner Faust.
That really sounds like a faucet for the kitchen.
Yeah, no. he does look. He looks.
Price Fister, Tanner Faust.
Well, when he smiles, he looks like he's got fucking ceramics for fucking teeth.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, but there's
I'm
that.
not familiar with the show, so pardon my ignorance.
Yeah. There's that. Doctor Who. I like a lot of British television shows.
You're into Red Dwarf, I know that.
Oh, I'd love me Red Dwarf. I can't be British and not like Red Dwarf.
Is that the rule? Are you guys required to know Red Dwarf and James Bond?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If we don't know James Bond, it's considered treason. We get hung.
Is it a written exam or an oral exam?
Written. If it was an oral, I would have got dick and fart jokes. So.
Oh, okay. You have to help me with if I ever take that. You have to tell me how to spell.
Brr. It's easy. It's just like brr, but you go. Brr.
Ah, lips clapping sound.
Yes.
Alpha Omega, do you watch any TV over there?
Are we talking about just like brand
Just
new
first run
TV
TV
shows?
that's on right now. You
I
can't
mean,
say I Love Lucy.
Oh no. I'm gonna go with like see, I was thinking of like shows that just started up. Let's see, one that just started up recently that I like a lot is Young Justice on Cartoon Network. That one's really cool because that's like DC Comics characters all going on kicking a ton of ass, and the story is actually really, really good. Then there's the one comedy, Two Broke Girls, with my future wife. Trying to think what
Your
else.
future wife.
Dude, oh my God, Kat Dennings. If there's anybody that I would ever get really fucking like stupidly shy around, Kat Dennings. Her and her Hooters.
Hooters.
Let's see.
I have to go to a Hooters. Chaos,
trying
is
to
there a
think,
Hooters over there?
There's several.
Yay! I'm going.
Okay.
But
Bring
yeah,
me something.
that's two shows I'll stick with right there that are new. Yay, those.
You know what show is not fucking funny? Big Bang Theory. That show fucking sucks.
Somebody called me Sheldon. I was like,
I have
Son
a
of a
question. Why is it that each and every member of the YouTube gaming community is required to have an opinion about this show?
Dude, because it's like, oh, well, this show has nerds in it that like know stuff about video games and stuff. It must automatically be funny and good.
I've seen that show like 4 or 5 times. I've never heard them talk about video games, and it's one of those shows that you can tell that whoever wrote it, there was a lot of high fives going on in that room.
They think they're way more clever than they are in that show.
Yeah, like it's like I could I'll be perfectly honest. As an occasional drug taker, I'm used to being laid out, much like Silent Rob is right now. And I've seen that show, and it's kind of like Sesame Street if everything on Sesame Street was gray.
Yes.
It's just like I can tell that's a joke,
but it's not funny.
But it's not funny, exactly.
Boy, I can't wait for the commercials.
Yeah.
I hope there's toys that I like on the commercials. That sort of thing. It's not a bad show. It's not a good show. It's not really even a show. It's like some guys got together and they put it on TV, and it's got, hey, it's David from Roseanne.
I was just about ready to say that. It's good that he's working, but fuck that show.
I'm glad he's working, and I'm but He was like, I think he's just a bitch because everything I've ever seen him on, he's a curly-haired bitch.
Dude, I know. Like he's like,
Dude, Rob, we could hang out and he could be our bitch friend. Like, go pick that shit up. Like, he'd be like Jason Priestley. Like, just go pick that shit up.
that motherfucker probably gets no respect in real life. That's
Dude,
hilarious.
he's been typecasted so fucking hard. The only memory I have of him is an episode of Roseanne where Dan, who is a gigantic dude to begin with, flips out and like rips him up like a kitten and fucking slams him up against the wall like effortlessly, like he was trying to like wipe something off a fucking wall with a paper towel. Like it just, I remember seeing it and I was like, oh my god, I don't want him to ever be angry at me because he would just be like, break you all shit.
Goodman angry.
Goodman smash. Dan smash. Connor smash.
It looked like he was gonna knock the curls right off his fucking head. Like it was so
I'm
terrible.
convinced those curls are not natural. Those are what he gets lots of noogies.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Dude, that's from swirlies, like never-ending amounts, and then it just dries that way.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I know. So the lesson to be learned here is TV is a bunch of shit. Listen to the Hate-Bit podcast, right?
That's more
it.
entertaining.
That's it.
Yeah, and if anybody ever sees that kid from Roseanne, you give him a noogie. I'm pretty sure he won't resist.
He'll probably enjoy
Anyway.
it. He's had him that much.
And that'll do it for this week's edition of the Hate-Bit Cunt Bag, brought to us once again by Pussyfoot Strip Club, home of the Silent Rob 300K special. Anyway, big news on the console front. Microsoft is apparently giving longtime Xbox users limited edition consoles. For more, we go to Alpha Omega Sin because, let's be frank, I showed up late and I have no idea what the hell this is about.
It's okay. I'm somewhat prepared, sort of. So Microsoft is giving out shit. Now, everybody brace your fucking buttholes, get them puckered and ready. They're actually handing shit out to people. And you know, granted, this is probably like a fucking like tax write-off for the motherfuckers, but regardless, it's kind of nice that they're actually handing stuff out. Now, if they would have done this whenever the red ring fucking bullshit was at its height and peak and everything, that would have been very nice. But the thing is, for people who have been with Xbox Live since the very beginning on the original Xbox all the way up until currently, well, you're actually going to get something in return for all the fucking money that you wasted. You'll actually be getting a limited edition console, which will be tossed immediately onto eBay for a couple $1,000s, and retards will be bidding on it. You'll also get 1 year of Xbox Live Gold for free. And I use quotation marks when I say that. There's probably like some kind of weird tax and maybe a soul selling. But yeah, so they'll be giving this stuff out. I think it's pretty cool that they're giving a shit out. I wish more companies would do this. At the same point, it's Microsoft are evil and they're watching me jack off through the Kinect camera. So what's
Dude, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't get anything for going through like 8 fucking red rings of death. I mean, I should at least get a shirt that says, "Hey, I got a red ring of death," and all I got was this lousy shirt.
No, it's, I got. It'll
They'll
be.
probably just send you a shirt that says, I jerk off a lot.
No,
I
it's,
care.
I got screwed by Xbox. But
Yeah.
but you got to. It's 10 years worth of Xbox Live. What, at $60 a pop? So you get, in effect, you're paying $600 for a fucking Xbox with a different paint job.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
$600 Xbox.
Yeah, or maybe they're just...
I was gonna say, I was talking to my brother the other night about it. I'm like, man, I feel sorry for these people that were on Xbox Live for 9.5 years. They don't get dick. Like, man, that sucks.
That means that they've been attempting to watch you jerk off for 6 years and then have used the remaining 4 years to watch you jerk off.
I feel bad for them.
You know, somebody was there, like, there's got to be a way we can catch somebody, like, you know, taking a shit on one of these things.
I'd be worried if somebody had a Kinect in the fucking toilet.
Would it surprise you to find out if someone did?
No, well, I've come to expect not a lot from everybody, so...
See, there you go. So, and Alpha Omega said, when are they mailing these fucking things out?
right now. People have
Right
already
now?
gotten their... Yeah, people have already gotten their hands on them, but the thing is, like, they'll either be contacting you, like, through fucking snail mail, through the postal service, assuming you don't get shot by one of the fucking mail carriers who just loses their fucking shit. You'll either get an email or you'll get a phone call. Regardless, if Microsoft is hitting you up, answer, because you'll get a free console out of it and could make a couple bucks off of it, assuming you already got a fully functioning console or just want to keep it for collector's value. What the fuck ever. Doesn't matter. But legitimately, they're just contacting people at random. They haven't actually said, if you missed a month or two, are you still able to fucking get one or not? They're just like, nope, we're just hitting up people, free systems. Also, if you work at IGN.com, you're able to go and get one for free too, because they're a bunch of fucking cunts. So good for them.
Oh, that's nice.
There's got to be like a loaded message behind this. Like, hi, we're Microsoft. You know that fucking machine that we've slowly stopped giving a shit about a few years ago? Yeah, you can have one.
Yeah. Do you want one? Has a paint job. Want it? You like it?
Hey, check it out. It comes with a sticker. Anyway, well, that's good to know that Microsoft, they're fucking evil. I mean, I'm sure Oprah gives away stuff every now and again, and we all know what she did. Anyway,
8 children.
next on the news front, apparently somebody else is gonna have to take this away from me because I don't even know what this means. Black Ops 2 contains Mass Effect info. Nuketown removed. What's the story?
Yeah, Alpha, go ahead and take it away, dude.
Okay, might as well. Currently, I'm
Two
in
in
the
a
middle
row!
of eating a taco, so everybody can deal with my chewing. But so here's what's going on. People that got a hold of Black Ops 2 basically were in the midst of installing it on their PC, and when it asked for the second disc, you're like, cool, here you go, shove it into the slot, ha ha ha, and then all of a sudden it pops up on screen and it's like Mass Effect 2 question mark and shit, and it's like, but that's that's not, no, you can't, no. Keep in mind, Mass Effect is not an Activision property. It's also not a Call of Duty game, and it's not even the same genre. This is like if I popped in Call of Duty and it was like, did you mean Super Mario Galaxy 2? And it's like, nah, motherfucker, I'm pretty sure I meant Call of Duty. And it's just fucking mind-boggling to think that a completely different company's information, like the actual game data, is installed on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And the ironic part about this, of all people, EA actually came forward and was like, well, sorry that you're being hit up for our game, but for all the people that contact us immediately within a certain amount of time, we'll actually give you a fucking voucher to get it digitally for free. Because obviously there's some kind of fucking like mysterious workings that the gods and the fucking stars aligned and everything is coming into fucking place means that you should be playing Mass Effect 2 and not Black Ops 2. So
I was gonna say, people shouldn't be upset about this. Mass Effect 2 is probably a better game than Black Ops 2 anyway, so fuck that. Be happy about
It's
it.
probably more original than fucking Black Ops.
Guarantee it.
Or Blops 2, as they've been posting it online. I'm like, Blops 2? It's a fucking military shooting game. Why are people calling it Blops? If anything,
hey,
it should be calling it Blops.
I already
would much
played
rather
that game.
I'd much rather play Mass Effect 2 because I won't have a bunch of fucking sniffling 13-year-olds screaming into fucking mics every time that they get killed one too many times.
You mean once? Once they get killed?
Yeah, I was gonna say, they get killed once, they're fucking flipping their fucking shit. And the only time that's ever worthwhile to hear something like that is whenever you hear like the dad come in telling them to shut the fuck up, he pays for the internet, he paid for the game and the console, and whooping their ass senseless. Then it's worth it. Other than that, no, I'd rather just play a decent game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's worth $60 right there.
Wait, has that actually happened?
Oh, that
Yeah,
dude,
there's
I've heard that happen before.
Dude,
Did
there's-
someone get beat while they're stuck in multiplayer?
Oh fuck yeah.
There's videos
Oh
on
God, I
like,
love this country.
Where
Here,
the
for
fuck
every-
did you learn that kind of language, boy? Smack.
on Call of Duty.
From you, Dad. When you were drunk last night.
Yeah,
Why
if
are
you
you
get
making
bored,
me look like an asshole in front of the internets?
anybody that's listening right now, seriously, get bored, just go online and look up about kids getting their ass whooped online by their parents during matches of Call of Duty and shit. It's hilarious. Just hearing a dad come in and just flip out on his fucking kid, then the kid gets mouthy and gets his ass beat into oblivion. It's something that I can just sit back, smile, and applaud, because it's nice whenever the little fucking shit stains shouldn't be getting out of line to begin with, but yeah. And they're on Call of Duty. It's a mature rated game. What the fuck are you doing online, kid?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'd consider that pretty mature content.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, honestly, I wish that was like a mini mission. They got the zombies mode and everything. Now I want like the parent beating a kid's ass simulator. That would be fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
I know. No, that should be part of it. You know, it has a mature rating and like, you know, language, but let's just say domestic violence.
Call of Duty promotes domestic violence.
And we're all in favor of it because I'm in favor of people beating their kids because frankly kids are terrible.
And
They get
you
away
know,
with
to be
fucking
honest,
murder in this day and age.
So, Sainted, what was this about Nuketown getting getting the axe?
Yeah, what Activision have done, they've decided that they were going to give people that bought Black Ops 2, you know, on the release day, get Nuketown 2025, which Nuketown was a fantastic map on Black Ops 1, which everybody loved. What they've done, they've decided to pull it off their servers and not actually list it in the online games, which is pretty funny.
Fuck Call of Duty.
Yeah, fuck Call of Duty.
I think Australia should actually ban Black Ops 2, and then I'll move to Australia so I don't have to fucking deal with that fucking game anymore.
Yeah, it seems to be every other video on YouTube. Yeah, I'm playing Black Ops 2 and I'm doing pretty well. Bang, I've just been shot. No, that's all we hear from.
I don't know. I'm still interested in this whole moving to Australia thing.
You know, dude, like
I heard they got big titty bitches there.
Fuck yeah.
And there's no Call of Duty. This is gonna be a beautiful friendship. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Anyway, well, that's I'd like to say that's a good piece of news, but frankly, I don't know anyone who gives a shit about any of that, and we thank you for tuning in to hear about it.
Zero fucks given.
Zero fucks. Well, actually, I'm right here. -3 fucks have just been given, so they owe me fucks.
Yes.
Wait a minute. That doesn't work out at all, man. This is. Wait. Maybe this is where the big titty bitches come in. I don't know. It's not my job.
Let's just do it this way. I just don't give a fuck.
There you go. That works out. Anyway, in other news, sad day coming up. The day before Thanksgiving, here in the United States. We're less than 2 weeks away, or just over 2 weeks away, rather, from December the 11th, which is the last day of Nintendo Power. And we haven't talked about it much on the show, but it is time for us to say goodbye to Nintendo Power. I, being a big fan of the Nintendo Power, who would like to hear my Nintendo Power story?
Do it up.
I'm going to tell my Nintendo Power story. I remember, here's how nostalgic I am about this. I remember I must have had a really hip school because we had Nintendo Power in the school library.
Nice.
Isn't that something? And I know I stole a bunch of posters out of them bitches and then returned them, and no one ever said shit. So it was awesome.
Oh, shit.
So that's why I'm not going to tell you what school I went to. But the most nostalgic point for me for Nintendo Power, I remember reading about two, actually. I remember reading about the Super Nintendo and how amazing that was. I've told that story on a number of occasions. Just to hear that, the iconic word Nintendo, and then it was going to be Super. And I thought that was amazing. Followed a few years later by what was going to be the Ultra Nintendo. And then later the Nintendo Ultra. And then the Ultra Nintendo 64. And the Nintendo Ultra 64. And then the Nintendo 64. And it was slated to be the greatest thing of all time. And it probably was if anybody knew how to fucking work with it. So I'm going to miss Nintendo Power dearly. They say we don't like anything here on the show, and I disagree. I love Nintendo Power, and I will miss it.
Oh yeah, that was my thing as a kid. Like, I mean, Nintendo Power and EGM.
Yeah, you couldn't afford no fucking games, but you could get that magazine.
You could get that magazine. It was all about Nintendo Power and EGM, and it's funny. Like, I actually got a big bunch of like old magazines, like some of the really early issues of Nintendo Power, and it's funny like how they were like really biased when they first came out, like not really saying anything bad about any kind of games, but it's interesting going through these old articles reading
Now
about.
we know where the IGN template comes from.
Exactly, dude, exactly. But yeah, Nintendo Power is the shit. I remember that's where I learned the one button fatality code for Mortal Kombat 3, which is select A, B, right, left, down, down, up, up. I can't fucking believe I still remember that. But
Yeah, the douchebag move.
the douchebag move, and that's where I got my copy of Dragon Warrior. They gave everybody that subscribed to Nintendo Power a copy of Dragon Warrior, and
Which
as
is
a
an
kid,
awesome fucking deal.
totally awesome deal. Like, well, as a kid, I hated that game because I didn't know how to fucking play it. But in retrospect, totally amazing deal. Totally awesome. But yeah, that's my memories.
Chaos. What magazine have you got to replace Nintendo Power?
Actually, you know what? I was thinking maybe we should give them a plug right here on the Hate-Bit podcast. To alleviate the strain and the depression that will be brought by the absence of Nintendo Power in the year 2013 and beyond, I decided if you didn't know, I did a little bit of support myself of a few people trying to, maybe buy the license to Nintendo Power and make their own Nintendo Power, and others opting to maybe make their own magazine. And one very important website, probably not the best Nintendo website on the planet, but a damn fine one, PureNintendo.com. They dropped their own print edition of Nintendo, or Pure Nintendo magazine, and I have to admit, it's quite good. And I myself, being fervently against Kickstarters, they used a Kickstarter to get this one going. And then I said, you know what? You talked me into it. It was $20 for the year, which is 7 issues. And I enjoy it very much. It's a top flight magazine. And why are we talking about this? More Nintendo Power.
No, we're trying to give people alternative Nintendo powers.
Oh,
I
well,
also
that's...
I do also remember. I don't know if you guys remember when Donkey Kong Country first came out. People that were subscribed to Nintendo Power, like one day in the mail, I got this yellow-looking video cassette. I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And put it in, like, and it was like them freaking out about Donkey Kong Country and showing off the game. And I was like, it's like it's fucking real life graphics and like just this fucking overly zealous guy at the microphone freaking out about this game. And I was like, well, I guess I got to get this fucking game.
Yeah, because I know walking down the streets in Los Angeles, there's lots of gorillas throwing barrels and, other little monkeys with hats on. Yeah, that happens all the time.
Look at this realistic graphics.
Maybe in France.
Yeah, I think I still have that videotape around here somewhere. It's funny.
I
I got all
actually
these.
have one right here. Yeah, it's something.
It is. It is.
See, the thing that goes through my head is genuinely, it's an end of an era. Nintendo Power's been around for ages.
It's around almost as long as all of us have been alive.
Yeah,
I think it came out in '88. Wasn't '88 the first issue?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It was, put it this way, it was far back enough that a lot of people listening right now, Nintendo Power's older than you.
Exactly.
And on top of that, for anybody that is, if you were old enough to actually grow up with it, Nintendo Power molded you as a gamer in a lot of ways. People went to it for the articles. They went to it just to look at pictures of games. Like, if you couldn't get the game, it was cool just to be able to look at it. And it sounds kind of dumb to some people, but okay, you can look at it, big fucking deal. But look at people that like watching Let's Play videos and things like that. They just enjoy being able to see it because that's enough for them. They're just like, man, that's so awesome. I don't need to play it. I'm watching somebody else kick ass. And that's kind of what this was like. They had walkthroughs. You didn't know how to get through a game. You had a fucking a little mini guide, and back then it's not like how it is now, where you got game facts and you got a fucking strategy guide and a limited edition version of said strategy guide for the game. No, you actually needed these motherfuckers desperately.
Back in the day when you were stuck in a game, you were fucking stuck in a game. Okay, for years at a time. You're just hoping that Nintendo Power would mention this game in one small paragraph so you could get through this fucking level.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Here, I'll just put this way.
You couldn't even ask your friends, because this is back in the era that you had video games because you had no friends.
And even if you asked your friends are trying to ask you before you ask them, and it's like, oh, so this is where we're at. Fuck.
And if your friends didn't ask you, that's because they thought you were lame. You were the one guy that sucked.
Yeah, but it was also at a time when once you complete a video game, you actually got more satisfaction for completing that game because back then games were balls hard anyway.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't have much to say about Nintendo Power because I've never actually experienced any Nintendo Power, but I can safely say from Nintendo Official Magazine over here, you know, just actually having the, as you mentioned before, having the magazine and looking at the pictures in these magazines to see what these games were like, it it was just like giving kid to candies to a kid. It's just fantastic. You was always excited to see these new games. You was like, oh, what can they do next? What can they do next? And then, like you mentioned with the 64, it's like, oh yeah, it's going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. And turns out that it was, or it wasn't in some cases. But
No, it was. It's just no one knew about it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, there's something good about this. What is it? I don't know.
Oh,
It's I know that you could run a car over it and it'll still work.
Damn right.
You goddamn right.
Damn right.
yeah, but it's like when you see that there's a new console coming out and it, like say the Super Nintendo, and you just had a Nintendo, and there's like trying to convince your parents to actually buy you the next version of the Nintendo.
Yeah, they
Right,
didn't look very good as like brochures or anything. Like if you look, Mom's like, yeah, so
looks the same as what you got before, son. So it's super.
Well, it didn't help that the N64 was like more expensive and like game wise than everything else too. So I was like,
true.
I want an N64. All the games are $69 a piece, huh? Well, I don't know about that. That was good times.
Yeah. Meanwhile, where are your fucking PlayStation 1 games now?
Yeah,
I know.
I'm playing them. That's what I'm doing.
my PS1 games are on my shelf.
Yeah, I'd love PS1.
I was playing Tekken 3
See,
this
you
morning.
realize that we're preaching from the standpoint of minorities. See, a lot of those things. I know people who like to store their games, like in the ashtray and outside on the porch.
I don't know, man. It's hard to play an N64 when the controller never fucking works.
Yeah.
That's true, but at least when you turn it on, you can look at it. It's real nice.
Sometimes when you can get
As
past
opposed to
the
that
talk.
stupid little disc.
Dude,
Now
this
we're
is like
Yeah,
This is
Nintendo got the
completely-
little disc thing around. Got the little disc thing nailed down, didn't they?
Well,
this is kind of random, but I heard somebody recently called the analog stick on the N64 controller. Somebody called it a digital stick.
It's a
And I was
digital
like-
floppy dick.
Yeah,
Like,
I was just like,
I
when
don't
they
think
said that,
people
like,
know what that means.
I like. You ever just like kind of tilt your head and look at somebody like the Michael Myers thing? Like, oh, what the fuck did they? What? Like, you didn't know what to say or think. It shut my brain down. I was just like, that's not what. I had no clue what to say. I couldn't even form a fucking half decent sentence to ask, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, like you don't understand what analog versus digital means, do you?
Yeah, it fucking confused the shit out of me. I stared. I was like, yeah, nah.
Well, this is probably coming from people whose primary knowledge of analog versus digital comes off the back of old compact discs.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to fill you in, Hater Nation, analog means real-time movement, digital means incremental movement.
Yeah, in digital, it's either pressed or it's not. You know.
And just so you know, you all just learned something today. You're welcome.
You did. And you should also know about being pressed and not being pressed, also what a pressed ham is. But we'll learn that next week on the Hate-Bit podcast.
During
more
our
you know.
cooking hour, of course.
The more you know. We got to get that star thing, but I bet you that's expensive.
It probably is.
Oh, well. But I'm gonna miss Nintendo Power. I really am. Now, mind you, it wasn't always peachy keen in Nintendo Power. Nintendo Power for a while was fucking bad.
Yes.
I want to say, like when the Game Boy Advance was introduced, I think that was a real dark period.
Pretty much when the N64 was ending and the GameCube wasn't out yet, that magazine was pretty bad.
Well, and what's fun, I think they had to pour out a lot of material to kind of cover up the mess that was the Virtual Boy.
Oh, for sure.
Because I think they thought that they were going to be able to cover that pretty well, and then when it failed almost out of the gates, like, we got to do something.
We're
In
Nintendo.
fact, I'm
Why
convinced
is it failing?
we would not have the F-Zero comics and the Star Fox comics and all that shit. We would not have that if the Virtual Boy had been a success. They would have had something to actually write about.
It should have been a success. That's the thing. Like, it was made by the guy that made the fucking Game Boy, you know, made Metroid. It's like, why did it suck so bad? Yeah, Gunpei. Like, why did that shit suck so bad?
Well, I remember looking at, speaking of Nintendo Power, I remember looking at the Nintendo Power, God, what was that, like, I want to say, like, for my birthday, so probably like May or June of 93. I could be wrong on this date. And I remember reading through the magazine and seeing $175 for something that was supposed to be portable that didn't even, like, now mind you, I was only like 10 years old, so $175 I thought could buy a house. You know, I had no fucking idea. It
Yeah.
seemed like an astronomical amount of money.
Yeah. It was $175 too much for that fucking thing, too.
Yeah, that was American. That's back when American dollars, like, were worth money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I think I think you get Ritz now instead of dollars.
Well, I mean, even as a kid, like, I didn't know nothing when I was a kid, man. I used to play with sticks and watch the Power Rangers, okay?
And the
I
did.
I didn't know shit, and I went to Sears when the Virtual Boy first fucking came out, and I played it, and I was like, this is shit. I was like, this ain't good. I don't want one.
Yeah, it's really bad when kids who know jack shit about quality and anything decent are because you went to Sears, I went to fucking Kmart, and the weird thing about it is at Kmart they had this shit set up on the fucking jewelry counter.
Oh my god.
Okay,
What?
this wasn't and keep in mind when you roll into this Kmart, I know exactly where it's at. It's in fucking Westview Plaza. Okay,
That's a long
Kmart's
time
still
ago.
there.
Kmart having jewelry.
Oh no, dude, they still do. I don't know
do?
why. That shit's all fucking fake too. But
Ain't nobody in
you-
there got money for jewelry.
dude, you roll in, jewelry counter is right there, and a Virtual Boy's just sitting on top of it. I'm like, Virtual Boy, I saw it in a magazine. Wow. Walked right up to it, didn't have a fucking clue as to why it's just sitting at jewelry when the electronics section's way off in the back. I go up to play it, and I'm just like, my eyes hurt so bad. And I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, that was the
Why
same
have you got
thing.
two D-pads?
Yeah, that was the same thing. I remember walking into Target. Now we got another American department store chain. Walking into a Target store and seeing one, and I was watching some other kid, and I assume the child's father said, "Hey, what'd you think?" And the kid just goes, "Ow!"
Yo.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I was then afraid to check it out.
And
then, like,
this shit's
I
gonna
wasn't-
bite you.
I wasn't quite tall enough for the thing, and so I couldn't find the 3D sweet spot.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was supposed to be like Mario Tennis, I think, and I'm like, it's supposed to be tennis. I don't see a ball.
Man,
I don't
3D
see
sweet
fun
spot,
either.
man. You're like looking ahead to the 3DS before it even fucking came out. Shit.
Apparently I wasn't tall to get the whole 3D effect and everything, so I just saw red and blue lines. I'm like, something.
That's what I was like. I was like, wait, the graphics are all red? Fuck this.
Yeah.
I didn't understand their fucking color scheme. How are you gonna go with black and red, and then on the Game Boy it was like black and green? So
Yeah.
black and green, black and red. It was just like, dude.
I've actually found out why. Number one, the displays used in Game Boys are very similar to displays. In fact, they're cheap displays used in graphic calculators.
Yeah.
So they're very easy to purchase. And
Ah.
the graphics system in the Virtual Boy was LED based, and red LEDs, you can look into this, are the cheapest LEDs to purchase.
Yo.
Look at the big brain on you. Sorry, I'm channeling fucking Samuel L. Jackson at the moment.
We need to call you Brain Chaos.
Oh man. With motherfucking snakes on a motherfucking plane. Anyway,
R.I.P. R.I.P. That's all we can say.
we
Rest
bid
in peace.
goodbye.
Last issue, December 11th. Go get it.
Go get it and
If you
enjoy
buy
it.
enough of them, they might bring out one for January.
Yeah.
So, goodbye, my old friend. And that brings us into halftime. Halftime, where we feature the Hate-Bit ball bag, and we kind of talk about whatever we feel like. This week's Hate-Bit ball bag, we got a special sponsor this week. I want to talk about something real quick that just jumped into my brain. Sainted Magnus and I were talking about this, I think, earlier in the week or last week. About how apparently Rockstar North has planned for GTA 5 to be shorter than GTA 4, and I'd like your gentlemen's comments on this. They said that they were noticing amongst, and I forget, I can't find the figure in front of me, but something like 20 to 30% of gamers, or I think even higher than that, did not finish the game. Only made it about a halfway, 60% through the game. And they said, well, we're going to make it shorter. Apparently, the game was too long. And my only query is, do you really think that's why no one finished this fucking game?
Because that's what I was ready to say, dude. Like, that's not the reason.
It's like, no, that's not the reason. Silent Rob, tell them the fucking reason why no one's finishing this game.
Because the missions fucking sucked.
There were the same missions over and over and over.
Over and over again. I mean, you can count on one hand the amount of good missions in GTA 4. One being the bank robbery, which was like the best fucking mission in the whole game. And then that one where you're hanging off the top of the truck, that one was alright. But for the most part, you're just dicking around in the city. And then in GTA 4, they took out half the fun shit that was in San Andreas to dick around with. So you're left with like this weird shell of a game. I mean, I like GTA 4, but I don't know. I don't think it's particularly aged very well.
Well, it's in my eye, it's just... Oh, I'm sorry, Saint Magnus.
It's aged like milk. I've played all three... Good Jeff done them. Yeah, but I've played all three of those games. All three... Yeah, I know, there's a train coming.
Exactly.
This week brought to you by the Hate-Bit Choo-Choo.
No,
see, you guys think we don't make any money on this. Nigga, we got our own Choo-Choo.
Yeah, we have our own train.
Anyway, please go on.
The Heat Train! There we go. Yeah, so I played all the add-on packs for it, the episodes of Liberty City is what they called it, which was The Lost and the Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony. And usually add-ons are supposed to give you an incentive to play the game a bit more.
Yeah.
I found that I didn't want to play them. I had them on disc. I had all three three parts of GTA 4, and I played the original GTA 4, and that was it. Nico Bellic was all I needed to work out that I didn't like it.
Exactly.
GTA 5, I hope it's in my favourite city out of the GTA universe, which is San Andreas. So I'm hoping, I am praying, I am sat here with fingers crossed, legs crossed, balls crossed, eyes crossed. Anything that can be crossed is crossed.
Yeah.
That they put everything that they did from the first game, from San Andreas, in the actual GTA 5. If they do that, then they've got my money.
Yep. I mean, they have a lot of expectations after Red Dead Redemption. And, like I said, I just recently beat that. I had it at one point and ended up selling it because I kind of got bored of it. But replaying it recently, it is a brilliant, brilliant game. So, they really can't slack off after releasing something like that. So, hopefully it is good. And the trailers for GTA 5, especially the new one, look really fucking sweet. So, I'm hoping for the best.
I know, and you're actually featured in the game.
Yeah,
the
right.
Redneck.
Wow, are you gonna be in that game? Are you gonna look all sweaty like everyone did in GTA 4?
Rednecks are always sweaty.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for working on the Hate-Bit Choo-Choo, I assume you would be.
Indeed.
Yeah, he's a stoker. He fills the engine full of coal.
He does look like that guy, doesn't he?
Well, he is Nico Bellic. You forgot to tell you.
Well, that's true. Well, Rob, Rob's an actor. Did you know that?
I know, right?
You were. I remember. I saw you in Joe Dante's movie with Tom Hanks, The Burbs, where you played the next door neighbor kid. I mean, you were great in that. I think you were really good in that.
Look like him, goddammit.
At least I gave him a somewhat cool character, which was
yeah.
Nico Bellic.
I know. No, I think you were really good in that, and I hope he uses you for Gremlins 3.
He had the Mogwai.
I don't know what you're gonna do, but Well, fans, I guess I have to be the guy to bring this up. There's been a lot of questions where RazerFist has been, why he hasn't been with us in the last few episodes. RazerFist is on an extended vacation somewhere in the Bermuda Triangle, banging random slags, and one day, hopefully, he will return to us in good health. Otherwise, so that's where RazerFist has been
Well,
for all this time.
We miss you, buddy, and avoid all those STDs.
Yes, watch out for that. He loves the islands around this time of year, and we hope he returns to us in good health. Rob was arguing with me that he was somewhere else, though.
Yeah, I just want to actually say that he's actually still part of the podcast. He'll never be officially off the podcast. He's just on an extended vacation, so that's the way it is.
You know, it was funny until you started saying something about it.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying because some
See,
people are idiots.
man. See, now they're gonna know that he's actually in Dayton, Ohio.
That's worse than the Bermuda Triangle, dude. You don't want to fucking go there.
No one ever comes back from Dayton. I mean, that Choo-Choo is trying to get away right now.
Oh, let me tell you, man.
No, but
Yeah.
some people you have to explain it to. You know, I'm going to do a tally this week of how many where's RazerFist comments there are in the bloody comments.
Oh, I know. There'll be a whole bunch. That's why I did it right here in the middle. That way they get to feel like jackasses by the time they get there.
Saint and Magnus didn't want every comment being, so where in the Bermuda Triangle is he? Maybe I can go get him, or like, what's going on?
Like, did you send the Hate-Bit jet to go get him? No, he wants to be there. That's where he likes to be. I've also heard that he's also in a suspended state somewhere called Zeebies. But anyway, so we don't know. But from what I understand, he's still right there, and you can find him. I think the next Razor's Edge will be coming to you live from the Bermuda Triangle. Anyway,
he was actually in my recent drunk podcast thing that I did, my recent drunk game plan. He actually came in to the room for a while. So if you guys need a taste of RazerFist, he's on that too. So
all right, which means that what does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
It means this. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug, and also don't forget, if you have Skype, you can get it in the Bermuda Triangle. Which is good news. It's good news for anybody who's a Skype fanatic and wants to, visit the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know. I thought that was going to work out to be funnier, but just didn't work out. So since we're in here in halftime, it's time for the Hate-Bit Ball Bag, brought to you this week by Vicodin.
It's just that simple, like expecting.
Just that simple. Brought to you by Vicodin. They don't even know we're plugging them. It's also brought to you by. They don't even know we're plugging them either. PureNintendo.com. Drop by and say hello and tell them that the Hate-Bit podcast has been calling them faggots. Let me see. And my apologies to anyone who's offended by the word faggot. I just smoked lots.
I thought you were going to say my apologies to all the faggots. I don't think that apology counts.
Yeah, well, I don't think that. No, that's not very much of an apology. That's. I guess that's what they would say, like an underhanded left-wing tribute.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Anyway, first up in our in the ball bag. Oh, the first piece actually coming to us from hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. Please drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. Comes to us from Cool Palette, and he says, "Hey guys, love the podcast, and we thank you." He says, I was wondering what you guys think about these egocentric douchebags that do Let's Plays. You know, the people that have a video of themselves in the corner of their gameplay videos so people can see them as they are playing the video game. If you were to go back in time 20 years ago, you would tell people that in the future, a source of entertainment consists of watching a person's face as they play video games. I'm going to stop this letter right here because this doesn't really surprise me, considering that we have an entire channel based on people sitting on their ass on a sofa watching other people play cards. I just want to bring that to your attention so before we get too high and mighty. Anyway, he says, it's like being a kid wishing you could play video games for a living. Well, now these douchebags have made that a reality with ad revenue and the drones of people who think these egocentric Let's Players are funny. Keep up the good work with the podcast. Happy Thanksgiving. I think this guy just told you to fuck yourself, Silent Rob.
I think so too. God damn.
Yeah.
I think we should get this guy's fucking address. Now, are you egocentric? Why are you egocentric? And why were you in Joe Dante's The Burbs? Is Silent Rob your real name? No.
Look, I couldn't get on big with Tom Hanks. All I had was the Burbs, man.
Okay,
Okay.
well, I understand you're a struggling actor, late 1980s. I understand that whole
Exactly.
thing, but are all Let's Players as egocentric as you are?
No,
No.
none are even close to my ego. But let me say that I somewhat agree with the whole camera, watching people's reactions as they play. But at the same time, you would be surprised at like how many requests I get on a daily basis of people wanting to see my reactions of video games. Like, like that was like when I did that Pootie Pie spoof where I had my face. Like people love to see my facial reactions. I don't know if it's probably just because I'm goofy looking, but still, people love that shit. So like I can't really comment because like people want more of that shit from me, not less. So as a matter of fact, I got this one guy who pretty much emails me every single day asking when I'm going to review a game again. He's pretty much done that every day for like ever. So I can't really say nothing. I try not to do as many game reviews as I used to back in the day, but yeah, like people want more of that. And I've already said that. Look, it's not 2007 anymore here, people. Like I can't just pump out a game review all the time, and people don't watch that shit as much on YouTube as they used to, unless you're Pootie Pie or somebody retarded. Then you get lots of views. But other than that, yeah, I can't. I mean, like I said, people like to see me do that shit. So
Yeah, man, why don't you get more cutting edge and take your camera to the flea market?
oh man, let me tell you,
God.
infinite
That's
possibilities.
another fucking rant for another day, I must have.
It is, and is. It'll be featured on a future edition of the Hate-Bit podcast. Alpha Omegason, do you have any feelings at all about the Let's Players and their apparently being egocentric?
I don't know. I mean, like I've gotten tons and tons and tons of fucking requests ever since I started the channel to do Let's Plays. Just I've never had like one of those fucking capture cards or anything like that to ever set the shit up. So
I'm gonna say it right now. Alpha Omega Sin's going to do a Let's Play with me. So prepare for that.
me and Rob have been talking about
Shameless
fucking.
plug!
We've been trying to figure out what the fuck kind of videos we were gonna make for a while, but like, I don't know. I mean, some people, whenever they do them, can be funny whenever they play the games because it's just like reviewing a game, except for you're kind of playing through the entire thing without just like, all right, 5 minute quick review, cut into all the random bullshit real quick. So, I mean, they can be good, but they can also be bad. And as far as like egocentric, I mean, anybody can be egocentric on any kind of video legitimately. Like it doesn't really matter what the fuck it is. I mean, you could be talking about like you could watch a person reviewing an infomercial and they could be fucking egocentric in the midst of it, and all it is talking about a fucking salad shooter. So
exactly, it just depends on who's doing it. Like if it's if it's fucking Pat the NES punk, no, I'm not watching that shit because it sucks. But if it's if Alpha Omega Sin was to start doing Let's Plays, let me tell you, I would be watching his fucking Let's Plays. So it really does depend on who's doing it. So, and there's another train, Rape Train. So, but yeah, I mean, what's your opinion, Yo Chaos?
I don't understand the whole process of it. Like, I understand people, like, do you really get fucking requests for someone to watch you suck at a game?
Yeah.
Every single day, dude.
Really?
Yeah, you have
That
no
really
idea.
surprises me. And people have egos about this, apparently.
legitimately, the biggest reason why I want to do Let's Plays is because like I hate the editing process for making a review because all of my fucking like legitimately
Yeah.
editing a review, like a good review, is like the
It's
most
time
fucking-
consuming as fuck, dude. People
Yes.
don't really realize that, dude. Like, that's why I didn't put out very many videos back in the day, because one video would take upwards of 6 fucking hours. So like, I don't, it's either I put out a video, like 1 or 2 videos a week, or I put out one a month. Like that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, you're lucky I turned the fucking camera on.
There you go.
I could have just been sitting here talking to the window.
People like to see that.
Honestly, though, it would be a lot easier to review a
That's
game
happening
that
on
way.
my show next week. I'm just going to talk to the window for a while.
Fuck yeah. Well, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, Alpha Omega Sin doing Let's Plays would be. You guys are gonna say that wouldn't be entertaining? Come on.
Well, I don't understand it. But if you're into it, hey, that's cool. But having an ego about it, I mean, maybe somebody's just reading a little too far into someone else's intentions. But
Indeed.
whatever you do on YouTube, do it, enjoy it, have a good time with it. And by the way, don't
Just
forget,
be entertaining.
and don't yeah that and just be entertaining. And also, before we really close this one out, I have to remind you guys that according to Mrs. Yell Chaos, Silent Rob sucks at Donkey Kong Country. I just want to make sure that's very clear.
According to Silent Rob sucks at Donkey Kong
See?
Country.
See, two people in a row. So there you go.
And I'd like to openly admit that I suck at F-Zero. There we go.
Well, that's okay. Not
All this fucking video evidence which I've put.
I know. I saw your Let's Play. See, look at this. Look at this. This comes up, and this guy had no idea that all you guys are doing Let's Plays and shit. And wait, I guess that just means I don't do shit.
Yeah, you're boring. You're
See, I know. I'm terrible. I should be kicked off the podcast immediately.
right. Fuck off. Get lost.
All right. I'll see you later.
Door closes. There we go. Right, let's get on with this.
I wish I had that sound.
I might put it in there actually.
Oh yeah, see if you can put whatever. See, now you've blown the surprise. Anyway, we got a piece of mail coming to us right here at YouTube, and it comes from YouTube user UCSM22.
Can't they just use proper fucking names?
Wait. Well, they've run out of names. They've run out of names. This is a question for the Hate-Bit podcast. He says, "What's up, guys?"
Sky.
Gas prices.
Stick dicks and airplanes.
Even better. He says, great stuff. I could waste my entire fucking life literally watching a 10-hour-long podcast from you guys, so keep it going. Well, alrighty. He says, my question is, what is your favorite comic book, movie, and or video game? And I guess that means he wants one. We've done something similar to this, but I don't think it's ever been quite as direct. I'm going to vote for Captain America and the Avengers in the arcade.
Spider-Man games circa 2000.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Damn, that's broad.
Yeah, well, that's I can kind of see that because I think Batman's probably had the most success in like the video game area. So when Spider-Man came around on like the PlayStation, I was like, wow, a good superhero game that's not Batman. So that's pretty cool, Like, I don't know.
I think has always gotten an even shake in the arcades too.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I'm a big Batman fan. I don't get into like a lot of comics and stuff, but Batman's always been an exception. So anything Batman oriented, especially the Tim Burton movies, and that was really the first like comic book type movie like that really I think was really actually really good. I mean, you could say Superman, I guess, but I don't know. Batman.
I don't know. For me, the Superman movies were very melodramatic for no apparent reason.
I agree. I agree.
But it did have the better theme.
It did.
Or rather, the more triumphant theme.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. See, I've just never been into Super. I watch Superman for the campy value. Mm-hmm. That's about it. The same reason I watched like the Adam West Batman, I watched Superman.
Oh god, the Adam West Batman was amazing. I love watching season 3, the final season. You could tell they had no fucking budget for that show because most of that show had no sets.
Oh, dude, the budget all went to the fucking villains because they always got like popular actors like Burgess Meredith.
Oh sure, but I mean towards the end, like you'd go see like the Riddler's hideout, and there'd just be a black room with a sign that says Riddler's hideout.
Totally, dude.
Like,
totally.
Wow, man. This looks like a high school production. Anyway, Alpha Omega Sin, you haven't said much.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to be the comic book guy. Because mine's just so typical. I had mentioned it earlier. Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, they're just the bee's knees. But if I'm going to throw out any other decent ones, like X-Men the arcade game, it just owns so much. It's such an amazing fucking game.
Welcome to die.
Yeah. Like
Welcome
it
to
is.
die.
Like it's so fucking cool. If you get the chance, either maim that motherfucker or go on PSN or some shit, just go get the game and have a blast. If you see the arcade cabinet, especially the one that has like all 5-player setup,
Yeah,
I
PS5 player, yeah.
Yeah, if you see that beast there and it weighs like 8 gajillion pounds, go up to that fucking thing and just play the shit out of it. And it's one of the few games where I was playing, and when somebody would come up to play, I'd be happy. I'd be like, yeah, making this team stronger.
Yeah, but don't forget, on that cabinet, you had room.
Oh, yeah, you had plenty of
You
room.
try playing you try playing 4 people in the Ninja Turtles arcade game. Doesn't happen.
I was gonna say I did try that. Even when you're like little kids, it doesn't even work. Everybody's just elbowing each other in the fucking teeth. It's just like, how is this happening? Why? For movies, I mean, fuck. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with the Dark Knight because goddamn, it was amazing. And the Joker, he's just like one of the coolest villains, but Heath Ledger knocked out of the park. And I doubted the guy so much. I was just like, how are you going to upstage Jack Nicholson, like my favorite fucking actor? I dare that motherfucker.
Took it in the butt.
Yeah, it's just like you fucking pudding-eating cowboy motherfucker. Go back to fucking high school and play a fucking love interest, you piece of shit. Oh my god, you're awesome. Holy fuck.
Well, see, for me, like, A Knight's Tale was actually, like, one of my favorite movies, so I was like, okay, I'll give him a chance, even before that came out, so he did surprise me, though, like, big time.
Oh, dude, they seriously ran with that. I'll put the Avengers up there really high, and Spider-Man 2. They're all really good fucking movies, but it's just like, I grew up on Batman, and it's not like I'm being biased when I say that. It's just I get even more into them, but they take like extra good care of it. That's one thing I'll give Warner Brothers credit for. Batman on the NES, fucking amazing. Batman on Super Nintendo, amazing. Trying to think the Batman on Sega CD, really good.
Batman Returns on the Genesis, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean Batman's had like a really good run, but Saint Magnus mentioned Spider-Man like 2000s. That shit was amazing. Like, I mean, Spider-Man even showed up in Tony Hawk.
Oh, dude, like how much time did you spend in Spider-Man on PS1 just swinging around the city like it was the best fucking thing ever, dude? Like, oh my god.
It was fucking freedom. Like, you could be Spider-Man, and that was an amazing feeling because you just like it felt like you could go anywhere. You're like, I am the fucking web slinger, I'm fucking wall crawler, I'm owning face. This is fucking awesome. And it did kicked ass, and it came a long way from the Atari game that sucked major fucking ass.
Oh
but it had an awesome commercial, admittedly. That was pretty cool.
Well, there we go then.
Now all we need to do is get a good Superman game, and the world will be right.
I don't know. Superman in the arcade was actually pretty decent. Not great, but
I think developers have a hard time making a character that can do anything.
Exactly. How do you make an invincible, character into a video? I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, here's how they can. Look at some of the games where you're just like an overpowered character fucking stuff up. Just throw a bunch of more overpowered characters. Have an alien invasion where you're...
Wait. I got a great idea. Here's what you do. You take Superman, right? And then you throw a green mist over him. No?
Yeah. Oh, we got you.
I see where you're going with this.
How about we put like... Why don't we make it real foggy and it's a big plan by Lex Luthor?
Yeah. Wait. All the cars will look like dressers.
Yeah. And you have to pick them up, carry them, or throw them.
That's
fuck. You know what the most evil thing you could possibly do, though, is to just immediately start them off with a time limit and the worst control in existence.
Yeah. I mean, can we make them like fly through rings fucking constantly too? I mean, is that possible?
Yeah. Can we put awesome. Man of Steel, the most powerful man in the known galaxy, through a hamster's maze? That's a great.
Yeah. and then we're gonna put him on a time limit, and if he fails, you just start at the beginning of the game like nothing happened.
You know what? I've got a great idea. We're getting a Kickstarter together right now.
Dude, I swear to God, this had to have been like how the game was actually.
It had to have been. It's like, wait. Yeah, what was that, like Titus Games or something? This is we're reenacting what happened in the boardroom there. Okay, wait. Okay, these kids, they like the games, so just put Superman on it, and I'm going to lunch.
That sounds good to me, man. I'm in.
Here, you know what? If we're gonna have a Kickstarter, the Kickstarter should be, where's the other 90% of the coding for Superman 64? That would be awesome.
Fuck yes.
And then
Yeah.
we could have like the complete game. It's sad because it's based off Superman the animated series, which ironically is really, really, really good. But no one knew that because they did not give a shit.
Yeah. It would be one of those things like we could find out who was responsible. It's like, yeah, okay, you're going to give money to us or we're going to fuck you up.
That's already a better plot than the AVGN movie, let me tell you right now.
Oh, I was just waiting for an AVGN reference.
There it is.
Yeah, and many to come, I'm sure. Anyway, it's time to start the second half, but we're way over halfway, just because so much to do, so much to talk about, so much going on. So let me see here. It's time to go into the second half, and guess what? Big news, big news, and you hear it only here on the Hate-Bit podcast. Apparently, Apple Computer Company has patented a rectangle.
With rounded corners.
With rounded edges. For more, we talked to our good buddy, the Sainted Magnus.
Oh, why me? I don't even like Apple.
Well, that's exactly why I put you on it.
Oh, well, I like Samsung, so I don't care for Apple very much.
So when's Apple gonna like patent the fruit, like just the fruit of Apple?
They already
Like so whenever we eat some,
maybe
like
that's why produce is going up.
well, just think. As soon as you take a bite out of that apple,
you owe them money. You owe them money.
You owe Apple money.
That's it.
So
I think we're giving them ideas.
We'll them even more.
So are they gonna sue the person who wrote Snow White as well?
Oh my god,
I mean,
yeah.
That's a poison apple, and they'll be like, oh, they're trying to make our products look bad. Fuck you.
That's hilarious.
yeah, but whoever buys a fucking iPad must be an idiot because they're not even good. They're overpriced pieces of shit.
You can get ones that are just like it for way cheaper. You really
You
can.
can get an Android one for half the price and it'll do twice as much.
Yeah. Then you'll have to deal with their proprietary bullshit.
Look at the Galaxy Nexuses. The Galaxy Nexus phone, which is basically a fucking Google Nexus, but in a phone. That's
Why does
twice
it sound
as
like
powerful.
we're getting everybody ready for Black Friday?
I
Oh
know.
no shit. Well, the one good thing you can say about Apple stuff is that it retains its value. Like, so if you want to resell it, you could pretty much resell the motherfucker for like the same price as you bought it. But other than that, fuck that shit. I've always said that.
Yeah.
See, my major issue with this entire thing is that whenever you file a patent, it's not supposed to be so broad that you could sue anybody. Okay, they literally could have a lawsuit with people who make TV dinners because of the packaging.
When Sesame Street starts talking about rectangles, are they gonna owe them fucking money now?
Dude,
Like,
that's what I was saying. Like, I went and tossed it onto my Facebook. I'm like, all right, so when's the makers of Sesame Street gonna go and take the entire alphabet and say, yeah, we patented it and we own it. Oh, and numbers for the day and these various shapes that have nothing to do with rounded edges or rectangles or anything. Circle, fucking right. Yeah, we got circles. You want some triangles, bitch? All right, we got those too. Not Laura Croft fucking PS1 titties, but legitimate motherfucking triangles. We were the shit. We were Sesame Street. Fuck you, Mitt Romney, for trying to take us away.
We also own cookies and vampires.
You know something else I've just been thinking. You know, they're gonna have to sue us for having a game collection as well because we've got most of our games are in boxes with rounded edges. Look at the PS3 boxes. Look at DVD
Yeah, I was
cases.
gonna say, dude, PS3 fucking cases, all Blu-ray cases, all that's rectangular with a rounded edge. Oh wait, you know what? Almost all fucking electronic devices nowadays are rectangular with rounded edges. So is everybody gonna have to take all their shit off the market and then put it out with pointy edges and everything, or just make everything like a perfect circle? Not the band, but like an actual circle.
It's just gonna be health and safety out the arse, isn't it? You know, pointed edges, no, health and safety nightmare. But just thinking, I'm just looking at my Super Nintendo. That's got rounded edges as well, and it's shaped like an iPad. It's
It's getting trivial. It really is. Like Apple is really stretching here with this.
Well, they sued Samsung for having a phone with rounded edges for fuck.
Dude, that was the thing. That's what fucking started this entire fiasco right there. And everybody was like, that is a fucking big crock of bullshit. And the thing is, the only justice that came out of that, keep in mind, people, they sued them for $1 billion fucking dollars and won. Okay, for rounded edges. All right, this is one of the reasons why I won't support that fucking company, because they're a bunch of fucking loons. But here's the thing. They sued and they won. So the only justice that came from it is that they didn't have it said anywhere within court of how they were supposed to be able to receive the money. Well, they sent it to them in nickels. $1 billion in nickels.
That's like fucking Scrooge McDuck's money bin at that fucking point.
Legitimately, they took dump trucks and had them driven to Apple headquarters, and it's all nickels.
Yeah, do you realize that must have cost them like $10,000 to ship the nickels?
Dude, you want to know what? I'm like, it's worth it. It's worth every second just to watch those motherfuckers. Like, I would go there with my camera on my fucking my Nexus camera, no less, recording it. And I just laugh my ass off as they're like, "How are we going to do this?" Because they don't know how much is there. It could be $50,000. It could be $1 million. Well, no, because it's nickels. It's so fucking absurd. The only amount of justice, and it was definitely fucking worth it. But yeah, Apple, you can suck my fat fucking cock, and and don't fucking go and take the shape of anything phallic either, because then everybody's gonna have to fucking tuck their shit and do a little jig.
I'm still laughing about the nickels. I'm just here picturing like Lee Kun-hee just like just grabbing his crotch like
Screw you, Macintosh.
I don't know if they do that in South Korea or anything, but I was just guessing.
I'm just wondering what Steve Jobs will be thinking now in his grave. The patenting rounded edges. What the fuck?
I don't know. I mean, I told you I'm first in line to kick him in his old dead balls. Actually, that's mostly because of the Bandai Pippin, but anyway. And it's time for one of these since we're getting towards the end of the show. We always like to throw one of these towards the end of the show, and it's the Hate-Bit retrospective. And if you didn't know, the Nintendo Wii U came out just a little while ago, and Nintendo, in what I would consider a rather brash move, have effectively killed the Wii. They have not made such official statements, but semi-official, if you will, depending on whether or not you take the internet with a grain of salt. I don't even know where to begin. Alpha Omega Sin, you're the guy that always manages to say nice things when I can't about the Wii. What are you nostalgic about the Wii for?
Well, considering the fact that over the years that the Wii's been out, it's gotten flack just because of the amount of bullshit that's on it. You had to wade through shovelware for eons, it seems, just to be able to find those gems. But the thing is, the system really does have a ton of them, despite all the downsides, despite all the flaws, despite all the easy jokes that you can make about it, despite the shortcomings of the hardware by comparison to the competition. It still had a lot of really fun games. And, was a fucking runaway success. And if you don't believe me, go look at their bank books. But, when it comes to games on it, I'll look at things like...
Make sure to look at their bank books pre-2011.
Yes. We don't want to go just to yesterday or anything like that. But, I don't know. I look at things like that they did recently, even though people had to fight tooth and nail to get it. Look at Xenoblade and The Last Story, two of the better RPGs that have come out this generation, and I'm really thankful for because we almost didn't get them over here, and it was just going to be importer's paradise and whatnot. But those two right there are prime examples of why the system not only is worth mentioning and worth owning, but it's just a damn fine addition to the Nintendo catalog.
And keep in mind, he's saying all this nice stuff after purchasing the Super Mario All-Stars disc on the Wii. And
that's one of those.
Well, that game's a gem in the fact that it's hard to understand and very, very small.
Yeah, let's put a 15 kilobyte game on this Wii disc. They won't notice.
Oh, Super Mario All Stars ROM. All right, yeah, let's put it on a disc, and then for whatever reason, we'll put a separate disc just for the music, and it's only a couple of songs, by the way, from some of the games.
Yeah, and in sound effects, like, oh yeah, I want a disc with the sound effect of Mario jumping.
I'll bet you. I said, I'll bet you there's probably like somewhere locked on that disc an image of Shigeru Miyamoto grabbing his crotch in front of you.
Dude, that would be the greatest thing ever.
I like to think that he's doing it on a big pile of money and dead people, just dead corpses everywhere, money piled on top of them, and he's just grabbing his crotch, flipping people off, and a fucking thing of
And he's holding the Master Sword over his head.
Dude, no, that's what he calls his fucking dick. He's like, the Master Sword, unsheath it.
Oh,
shit.
I also, you want to know what here? I have to go and share this just so I can traumatize other people. When Shigeru Miyamoto whips out his member, it also has the head of his dick has the same exact face that he does. And he waggles that around. So
and it's even got his haircut.
It was red with white dots on it.
Oh my god.
So that's where the Mushroom Kingdom. It all makes sense now. Princess Peach, you fucking slut. But beyond that, okay, so we got those two RPGs. Okay, Murmasa the Demon Blade.
And
that game's fucking amazing.
That is a really is a beautiful looking game. I love it.
Yeah, I mean the console's worth purchasing just for Mario Galaxy alone.
It's $50 now, or £50 in the UK, and it's just so accessible now. You know, because there. You know, as Alpha mentioned, it's you've got to dig through fucking miles and miles of fucking shit. But once you find, you know, those gems, there's some really good games in that collection. You know, I used to be quite ignorant towards the Wii. Still am, in a way. But, you know, after discovering that there's some really good games on that system, I've been kicking myself for the best part of 6 months since I got the damn thing. So... definitely.
It does, and you know what's good about it? You can mod the fuck out of it and put anything you want on it.
Sure you can, absolutely. What's really surprising to me is there are some titles on that system that have no fucking business on this system at all. But are great. Like House of the Dead Overkill. Did you have that one? Did you play that one?
I've not played that one, but I do look forward to getting hold of that.
That one is really good, and it's so dirty.
You already mentioned Mad World, so there's another
Mad World, violent as shit. You know, No More Heroes is pretty violent.
Well, No More Heroes 2 is you kind of took the gloves off with that one.
It did, very much so. You know, there's a game that we're not mentioning. We've been bad-mouthing shooters all day, but Sin and Punishment on the Wii.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
absolute stellar, so to speak, on-rail shooter. Fantastic stuff. I enjoy.
You know what I've noticed? It's actually kind of strange that, like, Skyward Sword, like, people have started to, like, dog that game now like it was never good to begin with. I'm like, that was a pretty damn good game, people. Like,
yeah.
I get so many people telling me that now, like, oh, fuck Skyward Sword, and it was never good.
Well, yeah, because everybody, IGN, changed their mind when Nintendo stopped advertising with them.
Indeed.
Yeah, you know, everyone who falls for that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, I enjoyed the Wii very much, and... you know, even you play some of the cute games on it, you know, and even those are good games. You know, here's a cornball one that I'll get all kinds of flack for: Rhythm Heaven Fever.
That's a good game.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I got it because it was $10, but you know, knockout stuff, and I think the system just. We were having a discussion the other day, myself and Alpha Omega Sin and Saint Magnus, and our good friend returned to Mother Base from the where's he from? Saint Magnus from the Press Start podcast.
Oh, he former host on the Press Start.
Member of the Press Start podcast. We were all having.
What was it fucking called? Keep going. I'll get to it.
Yeah, some podcast, some asshole was talking to us, and. We brought up how, you know, years from now, like 5 or 6 years down the road, the Wii is gonna be that system, like the Saturn or the GameCube. You know, kind of like, oh, they just didn't really appreciate it at the time. It's gonna be one of those things. I have that feeling as well.
Yeah.
Well, here's a good question: Which would you guys say is better, the Wii or the GameCube?
Man.
I'm gonna stick.
Ask RazerFist, he'll tell you they're the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, I'm like, they are basically like the internals are basically the same, but
No,
otherwise.
they're I did one of my videos where they're just two GameCubes stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stick with GameCube because I've got more love for the GameCube, although the Wii.
Whatever you do,
Sound-
just watch out for that train.
Then, dude, you better.
That train.
I would have to go with the GameCube too, if only for Metroid Prime, because I remember that game fucking totally melted my face when it first came out. So.
I would lean on the Wii, not for if you compare the software available with both of them, and I mean the best of the best on both systems, it's a pretty tight race. And it depends on really who you ask, I guess. But for me, it's a pretty tight race. The one thing that pushes me over the cliff on the Wii was the fact, and this is going to sound really stupid and really lame, but this is one thing that just totally sold me on the console, and it's that I come from the NES. When I was a little boy, that was our system around the house, and was always very special to me. And when I found, because I looked at the Wiimote, and I'm like, it looked weird, like it's a wand. I'm like, okay, I don't understand. And then my buddy said, well, if you turn it like this, you can do like the NES. And I'm like, oh my God. You could just turn it and you could, oh, fuck, this is awesome. And that's really, I know it sounds really simple and, really corny, I guess, but that's what one of the main selling points for me on that system was, and why I think it's just, inches above the,
See, that was never actually comfortable to me. I never liked holding the Wiimote sideways.
I have fucked up hands, apparently.
I guess. That was always very uncomfortable to me. And I always hated how they could have gotten way more fucking games on that goddamn virtual console, too, man. That pissed me off so much. I was like, get some more damn games. I mean, there are so many games, especially like N64 was lacking in the game department on that virtual console.
Well, I mean, there was straight up Nintendo first party stuff that didn't make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff that they have sole control over.
Oh, dude, I mean, people bitching about Earthbound not being on there since day one. I mean, I understand that game probably has so many copy-ridden shit in it that they can't put it on there and stuff, but come on, they could figure out some way to get that fucking game on there.
Well, it's like, saying to Magnus and I were having a discussion with our friend, Return to Mother Base, and about how he says that when he goes to the Nintendo World Store in New York City, they do have just a loose copy of it on display, almost like they're like waving their dick at you. Like, we could make this for you, but we're not going to. Please refer to the picture of Mr. Miyamoto grabbing his crotch on a pile of cash and dead people.
With his Master Sword out.
With his Master Sword out.
Dude, when you guys were talking about comparing the two, I was sitting there thinking the entire time. I was like, damn, that's actually a pretty tough call.
Yeah.
But I legitimately would actually have to go with the Wii overall. And the only reason I say that is because there was a lot of re-releases of big-time GameCube games on the Wii.
We also had a zapper.
For instance, Rob mentioned the Metroid Prime games. Well, they got the Metroid Prime trilogy. Yeah. And then there's the Resident Evil games, which I consider bar none one of the main reasons why you should own GameCube. Well, they got re-released on a Nintendo Wii. The Pikmin games, they got re-released on there. And beyond that, there's like just a lot of really random ass games on there that are really fucking cool. The Kirby games, for instance, are fucking amazing on there. I haven't gone to check out the newest, the collection one, but all GameCube had was Kirby's Air Ride. By comparison, it's, there is no comparison really. But it's, I don't know. The only thing I really wish that Nintendo Wii had was a fucking F-Zero game.
Dude, I agree. What the fuck?
Especially with they had the Wii wheel. They could have made their own version that's supposed to look like, I don't know, whatever a fucking F-Zero cockpit fucking steering wheel looks like. And include that in a bundle and put that out. Like, the system was just ripe for it, and get Sega back on it, because they did a really good job with the last one, but we got Jack shit and Jack left town.
Well, I was kind of, I mean, I can see your point on the re-releases, but at the same time, I mean, I guess they were originally on the GameCube first.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I have to kind of give it that slight edge. You know, that Resident Evil GameCube remake fucking blew my mind apart when it came out.
Yeah.
You know, and like the Metroid Prime. I mean, yeah, it kind of had a shitty Mario game on it with Mario Sunshine, but I mean, a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but didn't really care for it that much. And it had Twilight Princess, I mean, which was also a launch title on the Wii, but you could still play it on the GameCube. So it had a lot. Yeah, it had a lot of good shit on it.
Oh,
So,
dude, hell, if there's two franchises that you're absolutely in love with, and Legend of Zelda and Resident Evil, then the GameCube is the system to own because you can get pretty much their entire catalog.
oh yeah, for sure.
That's like one of the coolest things about that fucking system that I thought. You know, hell, if you're actually 3. If you're a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, because you get the Sonic Gems collection, get Sonic Mega collection, you then get Sonic DX, and get fucking Sonic Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, I think it's called.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, there you go, and that is just like an entire fucking thing of 3 of the biggest video game franchises that they have out there, and that's not including like all the shit that they have on Virtual Console and stuff, and just damn.
Yeah,
you know, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's
makes me
close.
happy.
It's close for me just for the fact that you can mod the Wii and just make it your own.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it honestly makes you think of the fucking Xbox in that respect, because I mean, if there's 3 consoles that are just like, please mod this shit out of me: PSP, the Xbox, and the Nintendo Wii.
Totally.
I mean, like right out the
Totally.
gate, you can mod this shit out of them and go at it. And some people will be like, "We'll include Dreamcast," but I'm talking like this shit's like built into the console,
Yeah.
you know, and you can
Yeah.
just, no discs required. You can just fucking go at it.
See, that's where indie developers need to go after those modded console people.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's a good idea, man. I like that.
Wouldn't that be a great fucking idea? I mean, it wouldn't
Yeah.
cost you anything. That you just have to have this software patch or whatever. You know
Yeah.
what? Why am I saying this on the air? I should be like forming. God damn it!
Yeah,
just
you need
gave
to
up
patent
really-
that, man. You need to
I
patent.
know. I'm gonna go talk to Apple about patenting stuff.
Be careful, because they'll be like, "Yeah, your words had some rounded edges on those letters. Nah, we can't have that shit." No, but it is the Nintendo Wii, despite all things, despite all flaws, despite all jokes, and despite the fact that it ended up becoming just a fucking box for Netflix for a lot of people because they were busy
True.
playing all the
Very true.
the new releases on everything else because third parties gave up on the Wii. Well, it's still a worthwhile game console, and you want to know what? Right now, I will tell you this. You ought to go out and get games for it while you can, because I guarantee down the road, those games that didn't get re-released are going to be skyrocketing in value. And if you don't believe me, well, you're going to fucking regret it at some point, I assure you, because I've seen this shit happen at the end of every console life cycle. You know, all those niche titles, you don't see them again, and then they're sitting online for 150 bones with like 21 bids on them and counting. So,
Oh yeah. for
And
You
sure.
know what? Oh, sorry, I'm going.
I was just gonna say, it's just an awesome system. Seriously, get it.
It is. You know what I realized has been missing from this generation? Every console generation always seems to have, and for every machine, there's 1 or 2 games that came way at the end that were actually pretty goddamn good. We're not going to have that this time, are we?
No.
No.
I don't know. There's fuck. Oh, actually, there's one thing I don't even know about this. Legitimately, I'm asking like anybody out there listening right now, if you know, please say something. They have what's called what is it? Pokemon Park 1 and 2. I have no fucking clue if the games are even any good, but Pokemon Park 2 came out under the radar. Nobody fucking talked about it. No one. Nobody announced shit. Nobody said shit. I just saw it and was like, huh, that's kind of random.
Do you think that's the game?
I don't know. To be
Maybe.
honest, I mean, the last 2 games that Nintendo's released on it is that Kirby's Collection and Pokemon Park 2. That's it. They're done. They're not releasing a single other game again for it. That is everything. They
that's
are
it.
done publishing and developing for the system.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a shame.
It is a shame considering the fact that Sony kept on supporting the PS2 well after.
They still are, I think.
Yeah,
They
pretty
still
The
much.
thing is, like, right now, if everybody's fucking, like, keeping up on Black Friday shit, there's a lot of Wii's going on sale for, like, dirt-ass cheap. I mean, fuck, I saw the limited edition red one for the Mario's 25th anniversary. and fucking with the box and everything, $65 in a store up the street from me. You know, you can get the console for cheap. It's worth getting. Games are cheap right now, with the exception of like small handful, like Metroid Prime Trilogy, which goes for like
anything with Metroid on it.
Yeah, like if I can't even believe that, and that's a shame because that's like a really good game, and I don't know why.
It's one of the best fucking deals on the system, you know.
Yeah,
like what
it is,
fuck?
and they included so much with it. It's like 3 full games, including the third one, which premiered on the Wii. So that's like fucking mind blowing, you know. And they had the fucking the Wii controls and everything, which work really well for you know, a Metroid Prime game, like really, really well. And it's just a damn shame that they didn't take full advantage of it. But who knows? They might make like a re-release of Metroid Prime HD or something and put it on the Wii U. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. And you mentioned Xenoblade, and that game is a masterpiece, so that's another one.
Maybe they'll fix Metroid Other M and they'll call it Metroid Other M.
the good version?
Yeah, good edition. There we go.
Yeah, Metroid M.
What it should have been.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, that would be nice, but it's, you know, fuck here. And I'll toss out one last game. Sin and Punishment, Star Successor.
Oh, that was going on while you were going pee-pee.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm sorry about that, folks. I was draining the lizard. Well, you know.
But tell
I
the
drank a
fine
lot of
people what you
Mountain
like
Dew
about
during
that
the
game.
show. But that okay, that game actually fucking for the Wii U, Tank. That's what it reminds me of.
Do you think so?
In a lot of ways, you figure it's a really fast-paced arcade shooter, has the multiplayer and everything, except for you know, it's not like Tank isn't forced on rails, but like the gameplay style and everything, and the way that you like combat everything is a lot like it. It's just that you have freedom of movement and whatnot, a lot more so than you do in Sin and Punishment and everything. But when I saw it, that was the first thing that came to mind to compare it, and that's why I was like excited about the game. And the other 8 people out there that bought it, which the only other person I know that got it was like fucking Johnny Millennium, which I actually told him, I was like, I'm glad you got that, man, because that game's fucking awesome.
No, it's a great game. I love it.
No, but the Wii, it's good. It got a lot of flack. I mean, fuck, as House of Dead Overkill and Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside Chronicles. That's good.
It's got a smorgasbord of bloody on-rail shooters, which
A smorgasbord?
A smorgasbord, yeah.
Smorgasbord.
I've been looking
Oh,
for a reason to use that word, but now I've got.
Well, good. I'm glad. that has not been used since like Charlotte's Web. I want you to know.
Oh well.
Oh shit.
Anyway, but now that you've brought us on to a sad note, it's time for all the sad news as we bring you the Hate-Bit Podcast. Wii U launched Damage Report. And apparently it's been a sad day for a lot of Wii U owners. Silent Rob really wants to bitch and complain about the 50 cents it cost you to register as a child molester, or what's going on, Rob? What is it?
So apparently the Wii U is a gumball machine now. So you gotta fucking put 50 cents in this motherfucker in order to register a minor, which is just gonna force little kids to just register themselves as adults so they don't have to fucking mess around with that stupid shit.
Yep.
Which is totally fucking pointless. You know, and then you have the whole Wii U's bricking during the system update thing, which at the same time, it's like if you turn off your system in the middle of a system update, I really don't feel sorry for you at that point. But apparently it's bricking a lot of Wii's. It's fucking some shit up.
The thing is, like, during the system update, there's people who have been saying, like, it's fucked up in the middle of doing the update.
Yeah,
it's just, like, it's
because
frozen.
it takes so long to do. It literally takes over, like, 2 hours to do it.
Yeah. It's an extremely long time, and it's kind of weird for a lot of people. I mean, we've gotten used to the entire updates thing, like, you know, within this console gen, but it's just odd to see such a fucking, like, gigantic one at a system launch, and let alone one that's, like, kind of fucking up. And there was actually reports of people who were calling in, you know, well, I'm having a problem with my Wii U and everything, trying to do the update, blah, blah, blah. And the people on the phone were like, yeah, unplug it.
Yeah,
And,
they didn't really understand.
Wait 15 seconds, plug it back in. Like, I wish that they would have just said this. Okay, take the Wii U, yeah, unplug it. Okay, go to the kitchen. All right, now put it in a microwave. Okay, 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes, 1 second. Not 9 minutes and 50. Okay, no. You need 10. 10. And they're like, okay, and then what? You're a fucking idiot. And they just hang up on them.
That's it, man. I mean, to give you guys an idea, my brother got the Wii U, so I have played it and played around with it and stuff. And when he first turned it on, he had to do that update. He did the update. We left, went to Walmart, did some shopping, got some Arby's, ate, came back, and it was still only halfway done. So that'll give you some idea how fucking long this update is.
Now, are you a fast eater at the Arby's, or are you average?
Dude, we took our time, man. Dude, we wanted to play that shit when we got back, and it was not even like halfway, dude. It was ridiculous.
You thought there'd be like Meavers waiting for you, right?
That's it, dude. That's it. So yeah, it's ridiculously long.
Hard to eat.
I mean, I would never turn it off during an update because I know that even in the back of my mind, I'm like, that could happen. You know what I mean? So I'd keep that thing on for 2 fucking weeks if it's just gonna sit there. But at the same time, you know, I can see why people are turning it off at the same time. So yeah, it's hard.
It's a powerful piece of machinery, it seems like, and it's being marketed to little kids.
Yeah. Yeah, what little kid has the patience?
Horrifying way to go about it because that controller is so expensive.
It is.
Oh, I know.
It is.
And
what little kid has the patience to turn it on and wait fucking 2.5 hours for an update? Dude? That's ridiculous.
Dude, there'd be kids just flipping out, and they're just like, "What is this? No!" And they just like spaz out, break their shit, and like, "This is stupid."
Oh god.
Like, little kids don't want to fucking wait for anything. Like, I'm a full-grown ass man, and I don't want to fucking wait for it. Sure, I can go do shit. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go read a fucking comic book, and I go back, and I'm like,
I'm a grown-ass man and read a comic book.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Because I can.
Like, I'm gonna go and watch porn. All right, right arm's tired. Gonna go back. Fuck. That was only 5 minutes. And my hand's sticky. I do not like this at all. I still have to wait.
This is a bum deal.
Yeah, but the thing is like, and the other thing, I just want to fucking say this to all the motherfuckers that are buying like 18 Nintendo Wii U's and putting that shit on Craigslist for $150, $250 more than what it goes for. I will beat you to fucking death, you motherfuckers.
I know,
all those poor ass parents that are like, yeah, I'm gonna get my kid a Nintendo Wii U for Christmas because that's all they've been talking about. Go to the store, shit is sold out, and they're just like, oh, I'll go on eBay. Oh fuck, I can't afford that. That's like quadruple the price. I'll go on Craigslist. Wait, what the fuck? They want my firstborn plus they want to fucking deposit $600? No, but that's what they're going for right now. Seriously, you can all suck a fat one, you motherfuckers. Tis the season.
Well, shit, when I got one, I felt like I was getting away with something.
Well, that's because you went to fucking Sears, the fucking store filled with cobwebs and skeletons.
I went to Sears.
There.
I went to Sears, where America shops.
Yeah.
But apparently not anymore. I don't know what's keeping that store around. But yeah, I went to this one place where I said, you know what? They would never have Wii U's here. And they had 2.
Dude, you want to know what's fucked up? I went online and I saw this shit, and I stared at the article. I reread it a couple times because I was like, I'm pretty sure my eyes are going bad. They got to be going bad. Old Navy is selling Nintendo Wii U's.
What?
God.
Old Navy. I'm not even fucking kidding. If everybody's like, no, this motherfucker's off his rocker and he's definitely high on some shit, like, what have you been getting to underneath the kitchen sink? Well, I'll tell you, everything, but it has nothing to do with me reading this news article. Look, they are literally selling them. Like, I forget, but they have a really good deal with, like, New Super Mario Brothers U. If you get that, you just got to see the fucking deal. It's a Black Friday deal, put it that way. But they got some crazy ass deal that's actually really fucking decent. You can get that game for like dirt ass cheap or free or something. But yeah, Old Navy, you know, the place that has like those annoying fucking ads of people happy about whatever fucking colorful ass wardrobe they have that I'd never fucking wear, except for they got sweet boxers sometimes. But that's about it. But literally, they're gonna have Nintendo Wii U's. I just can't wait to go to like fucking like Wendy's and they're just like, do you want to pre-order a Wii U with your sandwich? That's like, what? They're just like, I mean, you want that 5-piece? I'm like, yeah, it just what the fuck ever. Yeah, shit's getting fucking out of hand. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Would that be the ketchup red Wii U?
Dude, that'd be fucking awesome. Me, I would want this. I would either want a smoke black one, like the Nintendo 64 one, the Donkey Kong green one, like on N64, or the fucking grape colored one, which was also fucking awesome. I loved all those.
Why don't you just
Okay,
make it easy and just get a Nintendo 64? That color.
get
Yeah.
in or get out. I love those commercials.
I had
Super fucking
PlayStation,
sweet.
so I was happy.
Oh, well, you know what's interesting? Since I'm the only person in the room right now that has a direct Wii U, and Rob
Yeah, you
Rob doesn't
sellout.
actually do things;
Sellout.
he just has people do it for him.
Apparently, you're a
Indeed.
sellout, Chaos. You know.
Apparently, I'm a sellout. Whatever. I'll address that in an upcoming episode of Chaos Theory.
No, I'd say it'll be the Wii U tragedies.
Well, you don't make the rules around here, English. Anyway.
But that-
Yeah, there's enough of that. But apparently, I'm the only person in fucking existence that is not experiencing any of these problems. Mind you, I'm about to go play the game in a little while. It's gonna fuck up on me. Watch. But I'm not experiencing any of the bricking or the my the update did fail. It made it like a quarter of the way in, and then something went wrong, and I had to restart it. But it picked up right where it left off, and that shouldn't be surprising because if you listen to this show, you know from time to time I have a pretty shitty internet connection. So the update took little less than 2 hours, and I had to update for New Super Mario Bros. U and for Nintendo Land, and I'm not experiencing any of these problems. I know that it takes about 10 to 12 seconds to get between screen menus, and I'm sure they'll fix that as time goes on. But it's I don't understand.
No,
I don't
I
know.
don't.
I'm just happy that the system's actually out. I still want to get my hands on Rayman Legends. And
Oh,
Dude, that game-
Rayman Legends looks fucking amazing.
Dude, I was talking to my brother about that, and I was like, man, if Rayman Legends was to come out at launch, like I bet you people would be saying that game's actually better than New Super Mario Bros. U. Like they would be getting better reviews and everything because it just looks more interesting in a nutshell than another
dude,
New Super Mario Brothers game.
Well, that's true.
game. It's clever as fuck too. That's
Oh,
one thing.
totally.
Absolutely, and I also think that's because this is the fourth game in the New Super Mario Brothers series, whereas Rayman Legends is number 2, right? There's Rayman Origins and then Rayman Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the previous Rayman games are very different.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
they're
just
Because
just
they have like the basic side-scrolling ones, and then they had the 3D ones, and I don't consider Raving Rabbids part of it because that's like its own thing.
It is.
And that's one thing I'd like to see done. Say like a year or 2 years from now, Rayman Legends and New Super Mario Brothers U go toe to toe in an honest to goodness review and see what happens. Because right now we're going to be bombarded. There's a lot of faggots, particularly on what's that website? You know all the websites. And,
Oh shit.
I don't like to badmouth the internet, but fuck them anyway. You're not going to get really honest opinions. On this podcast, we're very poor, so we have no reason to defend anybody. And but just I forgot where I was going with that. Oh well, it's not important. Nothing I
Just
say
so
ever
you
is
know,
anyway.
we're honest and we're poor. So there. you go.
Yeah, that's very important, and we're not bought off. But as soon as we're able to be bought off,
See ya.
yeah, see ya.
Oh no, see, we won't technically ever be bought off. I'll see to it. Here's how you go about it. You agree to be bought off. Once they give you all the money and the luxuries and all that shit, you flip them off and you continue being the assholes that you were to begin with all the fucking stuff that they were supposed to go and give you to be something you weren't.
And we'll
Yay.
sit-
Exactly. But before you do that, make sure you take the money and you hire a damn good lawyer.
Or you hire a damn good hitman, which really you could go to any crack alleyway and get it done for $20.
Wait. Be smart. Hire both.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hire the crazy crackhead to go after the hitman.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So
And you
that's good
definitely get shit done at that point. So
See, lots of good advice, and that's what makes this the best Wii U launch damage report ever, and probably the only one we're going to have. But fuck you guys, you don't know any better. Anyway, it turns out that it happened again, and you've wasted another perfectly good chunk of your life listening to Hate-Bit Podcast. This week we've had a lot to talk about and a lot of time to talk about it in. So please drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. And don't forget to patronize Pussyfoot Strip Club and pay some attention to the guys over on purenintendo.com. And fuck it. Follow in Silent Rob's example and take Vicodin.
Yes.
So we thank you for joining us. Joining me as always was the apocalyptic Alpha Omega Sin.
Happy Thanksgiving, motherfuckers, and just be thankful for cool shit like good games and bitchin' friends and awesome family and all the other shit. Look, I'm actually saying something kind of thoughtful, just with lots of vulgarity and all that. So yeah, thank you, fuckers.
The STD Magnus.
The STD Magnus. Fuck off. Yeah, see you folks. Have a happy Thanksgiving and down with the British, is what they say in it? Or is that another holiday? No, it's
Could
another
be.
holiday. I'm confused with American holidays. They never make sense.
They don't.
I know, and you're the ones getting rid of them. Anyway, the 300-kilogram man, Silent Rob.
Happy Thanksgiving, and the Wii U should come with Vicodins. I'm just saying.
Now
I think
that's
they would
how you
sell
play
more.
with power.